No audio all that time. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, man. Am I going to have to say all that again? That took a long time for that to feed through before I saw that. Rats. Never mind. I'm there. I'm there now. Right. Lots of people who I've already said hello to. Hello again. Yeah. Sorry. There's always something. I'm a little tired. My deepest apologies. Yeah, audio good. Thank you, Kiri Mac. Roger Rabbit. I was just speaking, just when I noticed that. Roger Rabbit, you have my email address, mr-sensible@hotmail.com. Please send those candid photos of Jessica Rabbit playing patty cake. I've been waiting forever on this. Colon, the dancing diva. Oh, yeah. I hope you all caught that. That was fantastic. That's one of the best things, the most enjoyable things I've ever done. And I'll be honest, probably about half the views on that video is me. Seeing my daughter's face especially. It was rather special. And all the kind comments from so many people. I think 2 thumbs down. Hey, whatever. What's this? Irish Dublin. Someone needs a spanking. I'm not going to jump into that conversation. Did I get very drink at the wedding? Probably not as drink as you sound right now. I'll tell you what I had to drink at the wedding. Get this. At the end of my speech, because I had nothing to drink before my speech, at the end of my speech, with a toast, I had a sip of Prosecco or champagne, whatever it was, and that was it. That's the only thing I drunk, apart from a J2O, I think. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't need to get drunk to have fun. I don't need to get drunk to make an arse out of myself. But I was quite happy to make an arse out of myself because me and Amy were well practiced and made the correct sort of arse or arses out of ourselves. Enjoyable and fun. Yo, Liam Hodgetts, how are you? Phil Blacker, hello to you. Now Pinion. Now, is that Mr. Now or Mr. Pinion? Who do we have in here? And thank you. Mr. S can cut a rug. Thanks, Colon. Kiri Mac, thank you very much. We've not heard much of them, other than much from them as expected. Other than they got to their honeymoon destination safe and sound, so that's all good. Gleb Mum, you're quite correct. I don't know if that was you that mentioned it last time. A thumbs down is actually one of our Australian friends expressing support, which is very, very kind. Too easy to forget. Roger Rabbit's not as think as you drunk I am. Wow, that's good then. So, yeah, we've had a busy few days. Oh, it is Mr. Now. Hello, Mr. Now. Good evening to you. And your date, I think I DM'd you. You have a date, Mr. Now. Yeah, the wedding went very well. It was a little chilly at first, but after all those days and days of rain and cloud and miserable wind, it was beautiful. And in the evening, thankfully, we had decided to get a fire pit so that those who wanted to go outside could still keep warm. So that worked out as well. And it was just absolutely excellent. Could not really have asked for a better day. And that's probably the best praise I can give. The biggest hitch that happened is there was a breakdown in communication, and somehow they thought we only wanted to do the toast at the end of the third speech, whereas I needed to do a toast at the end of mine. So we just had to wait 5 minutes just while they made sure everyone's glasses were full before I gave my speech. That was it. That's the worst thing that happened. Oh, April, thank you. I love doing it too. I see someone saying Ross the Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. Is he in here? I've not seen him. Not seen him. 9 o'clock hero, hello to you. 1 down, 2 to go. How are you going to top the first one? I don't know. My middle daughter, though, I think she'll be happy instead of a do, you know, with a meal and a disco and all that. She'll be happy to go down to McDonald's with a few friends and pocket the money. And if that's what she wants to do, and use the money towards her home or whatever, that's fine. Whatever she wants. Yeah, my daughters are good. Yeah, it's definitely not a case of my eldest daughter saying, I want. I had to, she wanted a wedding, but we had to persuade her that we were going to spend what we did on it, and that, we were happy to, and that she deserved it. And she really enjoyed it, so that's fantastic. So Feej hasn't sewn up yet. I'm sure he will. He's like a bad penny, isn't he? Yeah. So, topic for tonight. Let me just check. Yeah, on the top of the screen you can see it says suggestions. So if someone has an idea for something we could talk about tonight, I have something I'll just briefly mention in a minute. But if anyone has a topic they want for us to discuss, we can do that. And once again, we got some background art by our very own Mr. Victory. I'm just trying to see what the name of this artwork is. 1 second. And I'll be able to tell you. This one is called, scroll across, Familiar Wounds. Familiar Wounds. This was the first one, first or second one of his bits of art that I'd seen, and I just loved this one. This is the one that first made me wow. Later on, as it pans across and in and out, you'll see more of it, and I'll do a shill for Mr. V and show the full picture together with his email address, which is at the top anyway, mrvictory77@outlook.com. If you're interested in purchasing any of his art. I'll be honest and say I don't know in what formats you can get it, whether that's electronic, posters or whatever, but he is selling his art, and as you can see, it's absolutely amazing. I have absolutely no idea how he does it, and I did say to him, and I think I said on last week's stream, I did say to him, I don't know how you do it, but I don't want to know. I just like appreciating it. It's just one of those fascinating things I could look at endlessly. Oh, I lost my mouse. So, I don't know if anyone else, I think Colon did, but there was a bit of a, it wasn't a ding-dong, but it was a bit of a to and fro with a flat earther going on Fight the Flat Earth channel, on his Discord channel earlier. I don't know, Colon, if you can let us know in the stream or wherever, if he ever came up with any evidence. But every time this guy wanted another debate with Fight the Flat Earth, who said, yeah, if you bring some evidence. And the best evidence I heard him give during that point was you're all hypnotised, which is not really evidence for a flat Earth. All around it is not an evidence for anything other than he's an idiot. Any more coming? Oh, Pi Parrot, hello to you, love. And Joseph Petrick, good evening. Yes, topic suggestions. One thing I like teasing yes, you did, Pi Parrot. I saw you in there. One thing I do like teasing my youngest daughter with is about this YouTube that I'm doing. And I keep telling her that I'm a social media influencer, which makes her cringe and say, no, not until you got 100,000. It was a lot lower than that, but as my numbers have gone up, her suggested numbers rocketing up. Tusk, that's a good idea. I'll try and hold that comment now, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, so I keep winding her up about that. And I saw a news story, I'm not sure it was today or yesterday, saying that some social media influencers are being harangued by people offering them money for sex. Where's the super chats? Why is this not happening to me? Why? Oh, this is a terrible state of affairs when poor innocent people like me get ranked for sex with offers of money. I'm sure it'll happen soon. I'll just wait. Pi Parrot, I'm not an embarrassing father. Never would I embarrass my daughters. Right, let me grab that topic that Tusk suggested and so I don't lose it. 1 second. I'll have to think of a way of wording it in just a few words. Let's see, topic. How about... Oh, I know. FE debunking saturation. If I can even spell it, because I don't want to look like a flurf. I spelled saturation. I got debunk wrong. Never mind. That looks good. Good enough anyway. So let's pop that over. All right, yeah. So as Tuss said, it's the flat Earth debunking community situation channels saturated. And is there a need for any more channels? I don't know. Oh, and I will just say, Piparrot. I'm sorry. Right, first of all, Piparrot, you said, sorry, I'm skint this week. It was only a joke. I do not expect anyone to super chat anything, but it is always appreciated. And then what happens? Now Pinion. 59 Swedish krona. Well, I feel awkward giving you sex now. Oh dear. Mr. Now, that is fantastic. Love it. And Joseph Petrick, €2. Now what? Lol. Crickets. Yes, this is a bit embarrassing, Joseph. Oh, you guys are so funny. I love you all. Oh, you made me laugh, certainly. Sorry, I love Mrs. Sensible too much to do what? To do what, April? To take up an offer for money? Dare I say it depends on the money? And dare I say if it's enough money, Mrs. Sensible will give me a shove in the back and say get on with it, because she'll keep the cash anyway. Oh man, I'm so glad I come on to do this tonight. Casual Spaceman. I am not going to offer you money for sex. You're not my type of gender, sadly. No offence. No offence taken, Matt. But I do note you said that I'm not your type or gender, sadly. So there's, I can detect some sadness there, definitely. Oh, you poor bloke. Now Pinion now wants a sex dance. Yeah, but good mum, for 59 krona, it's a private room, so sorry, it won't be on camera. Oh, Bob the Science Guy complaining. Yes, I saw that, Tusk. Bob was asking, I think he's got around 17,000 subs. And I don't know if he was complaining, but he was certainly commenting that the growth of his channel was suddenly stalled. But he isn't offering anything that can't be found elsewhere. The Riley video had been on about 10 channels in a week. Yes, it was. But I, for one, felt I had to tackle it, even though I saw two others. Well, actually, the time I started making it, they hadn't. But by the time I uploaded it, two others had done it. But the three of us who had at that point were faces on Riley's, I keep wanting to say thumbnail, not icon, on the thumbnail and in the video. So I felt that was a direct challenge and deserved a direct response. No opinion. I don't know what to say, mate. I really don't know what to say. I tell you what, I'm not going to reveal this at this time, but Mr. Now and Mr. Pinion, I'm not sure when it was. Was it yesterday now or the day before? I'm not sure. But those two guys really made me laugh. Really, actually, no, I am going to say. I'm not going to spoil it now. But Friday at 9 p.m, 2100 UTC, channel takeover by Now Pinion. Don't miss it. Funny guys. Really funny guys. Now, I'm so glad that I originally came across you with regard to that Christmas song, or we were chatting or whatever it was just before then. Honestly, the stuff you do, I just love it. Keep doing it. It's going to be a great channel, even though it's Swedish. We'll put up with the strange accents. Okay, mate? So where are we? Casual Spaceman, scrolling down a bit. Bob, yeah. So I don't think Bob was complaining. He was just commenting. But I thought it was generally a known thing that your views climb. Perhaps you have little spikes, but they climb at a pretty steady rate, whatever angle that is, and then they'll plateau for a while. And it's the YouTube algorithm testing to see if you can grow it a bit yourself, I think. And then you get another boost. Kimmy Mac. Elizabeth, like the dance. Thank you, Elizabeth. I did too. So did my daughter. Oi, Swedish equals heart. Kiri. We got quite a few Swedish friends, and we asked them, how come all the Swedish women are so gorgeous? And he said, we don't let the ugly ones out the country. I've been to Sweden once, not far from Stockholm, and I absolutely loved it. Yes, now, I know that Mr. Pinion is Finnish, but I thought that you and the Finnish were supposed to be fighting, or is it you and the Norwegians? You hate each other's guts. Yes, Swedish music, ABBA. Yeah, you did note that. That was good stuff. 9 o'clock. Bob's format changes too much. I have to say, I've not really noticed how his format changes. I do like Bob, his nice, gentle, matter-of-fact thing, but I sort of cycle. I think I probably cycle through. I certainly went through a stage of watching everything that Simon Dan pumped out, and then everything that Fight, then everything that Team pumped out, and then I sort of start to go to someone else, and then I guess after that I dip in whenever I see something I fancy. And yeah, I still follow Bob. I'm subscribed to him. It's the Norwegians. Oh, okay. So you and Mr. Pinion can get together and scrap with the Norwegians. Kiri Max says vulvas, Ikeas and bears. Oh my. Oh dear. So, so saturation. Let's get onto the topic. I think it was Tusk suggested it. Oh, what's this? Common Sense Criticism. How are you? Nice dance. I am very well, thank you, Common Sense Criticism. And since Now Pinion has been given a shout out for his channel takeover, Common Sense Criticism will be taking over my channel on 1st of February, 2100 UTC. And it's another cracking video. And I'm really looking forward to it getting out there, Common. And I trust that both you and Now Pinion get lots of views, likes, and subscribes for it. And you certainly have my heartfelt thanks for filling in slots. Shane, I think Bob Science Guy started out a mission to show how science actually works. Yes. Yeah, the flat earthers are dishonest. Yeah, you can show them the science, show them the facts, but they'll just ignore it. And we have a Mr. Victory in the house. Hello to you, Mr. V. As you can see, we have your backgrounding. And I've forgotten the name of it. I did say the name of it a few minutes ago. Hello, General Shady. I did say the name of it a few minutes ago, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But greetings to you, and I hope that Riley's okay. And Riley, if you're listening, no. Topic. This is the hardest thing to do, is to try and stay on topic. Is flat Earth channels and the debunking thereof, have we reached a saturation point? Oh, Nasty Buzzard, greetings to North Georgia. Ivan says, only saturated because there's so much stupidity being pumped out. Yeah, but is there less than there used to be, or is there just as much? And is YouTube censoring them? Or at least making it harder to find? No. Dora and Koo, hello, good evening to you. Well, there's nothing new's come out of Flat Earth for a long time, is there? Which is a surprise, really, because they actually don't need to develop theories and substantiate them with evidence. They could just pull stuff out of their hairy arses. Why haven't they come up with something else? I mean, they literally could say, oh, the sun is burning unicorns, and that's my theory. Prove me wrong. You can't prove it's not burning unicorns. That's just as Enter the Spider-Verse. No, that's not the name I've got. I found it just a minute ago. I'm going to have to find it again now. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to... background video. Where are we? No, Mr. Victory Shill. Where is it? Victory Shill. The name I've got for it, Mr. V, is Familiar Wounds. Common sense. I think it's harder for debunkers to find good videos to debunk because the flirts have switched to 3-hour live streams. That is a very good point. There's a number of flirts that are doing that. I mean, I saw one the other day. It's about a 7-hour live stream. Well, I'm certainly not going to trawl through that shower of crap just to find a few nuggets of crap. Absolutely, in common sense, it's exactly the same. I'm not going to watch a 3-hour Nathan Oakley. No, the last time I did a Nathan Oakley, I literally picked one of his videos and kept dipping in just to see if I could find him arguing with someone, which really is not, I suppose it's not really the way to do it, because he might have been nice as pie, making perfect sense and presenting an abundance of evidence that really backed up Flat Earth, and I happened to jump in 5-minute stupid argument. But, well, I guess that's his lookout if he's going to produce 3-hour streams. And Global Mom, you're absolutely right about people going over to BitChute. And I would definitely warn people about BitChute. Of course, sorry, I'm just mucking around with this. Of course, anyone is welcome and should go and have a look if that's what they want to do. But I'd be very careful. I'm sure that all you guys have got your head screwed on correctly, so it won't be a problem. But if you go and have a look at BitChute front page, perhaps just jump into a couple of videos, you'll see that if you get any of these more gullible people who, of course, start following Flat Earth, more gullible people, they're in for a world of hurt, because that's all they're going to get. And I see, this is giving him fair warning, I see we have someone come into the live waiting room. So I'm going to bring him in for a chat in a second. Or how about now? Let me... Oh, did I drag him in? Let's try again. Oh, he's not coming in. Ah, he's in. Right, he's in. So now let's switch on his sound. Good evening, Mr. Philosopher of Nonsense.
Who, me, what?
Yes, you.
What happened?
How the devil
How are you?
I am
Oh,
fine.
by the way, I saw the wedding video. That was so hilarious. How he just started, was like, okay, yeah, they're gonna dance, and then you just start busting into all this other stuff. I mean, I fell out of my chair after watching that.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Do you know what? We so loved doing it. We really did. And that was with, I think, a total of about 3 to 4 hours practice, including recutting the mashed up song, because basically the two of us on email came up with a rough list of songs. She got a friend in Australia to mash them. But then when we came to do it, it was a bit of a weak ending, and a couple of the points where it mashed, it didn't really work, and then we changed one of the songs. So basically, we started from scratch. So it was choreography and practice as well.
Oh, I think it came out pretty well. I mean, especially the fact that you basically punked everybody. You kept everybody out of the loop.
Absolutely, everybody.
That's how you troll people. That's how you troll. That's what trolling is.
Maybe I should troll some Flat Earth channels. You know,
Yeah.
sneak up, ask some questions, and then suddenly bust some moves. But yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Why not? Just bust into some breakdancing while you're at it.
Yeah. Well, we certainly enjoyed it. It was brilliant. As I said earlier on, the day could not have gone better, which is all you can ask for, really. And
you of course had some.
Have to what?
No, you of course had some cake, right?
Actually, there was no cake.
Oh, you're supposed to have your cake and eat it too.
No, she decided she didn't want a cake because neither her or her new husband liked cake, and they wanted to spend money on something else, and fair enough. But we have the most fabulous photograph at the end. Everyone went outside to make an arch tunnel for them to run down to the car for them to go. So we did that, and off they get in the car. And at the end of the tunnel is me, Mrs. Sensible, and the groom's parents, who are Americans. And so they've gone off on honeymoon, and then they're going to go back to Australia. His parents going back to America. So someone snapped a photo. There's me and the groom's dad just stood talking to each other, and the two mums both hugging each other, bawling their eyes out in tears. Honestly, it's such a classic. You couldn't have set it up better. So,
so what's all this flat Earth debunking saturation nonsense?
well, Mr. Tusk in the chat suggested this is a topic. It's open for topics tonight. I've not suggested one. And Joseph Petrick, I'm afraid that cake doesn't come to people whether they sub or not. So you may as well stay subbed. Oh God! Honestly, what a bunch of nutters you guys are. And I forgot what you had just said, Pon.
I totally lost my. I was too busy listening. Sorry.
Oh, great! You forgot what you said too. So that's a waste of time. It was the topic, wasn't it? Debunking saturation.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, I felt a disturbance in the force, so I heard flat Earth and like wasted time debunking. No.
Mm.
So no, I don't think we're over. I don't think we're reached a saturation point because, well, kind of like you said, they're gonna pull things out of their ass anyway. So there's always gonna be fun, new, interesting ideas. I don't know if you. I just came off of Creaky in it. Did you know Tom Hanks is an Illuminati?
Dun dun dun. No, I didn't know that Tom Hanks was an Illuminati.
Oh, apparently he is because he has hands.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone who has hands is apparently Illuminati.
Yeah, philosopher. I got hands too, mate.
Oh wait, better not tell anybody.
No. Okay.
It's a secret between us. Nobody knows.
All right. Swiftly moving on. ZP or ZP, depending how you say it, says, Mr. Sensible, how many kids do you have? I have 3 girls. 3 girls. Roger Rabbit, Jessica's making a carrot cake. Very nice. While she's there, and I hope she's got a cute little apron on, please grab a photo, send it to me. Do you know what, philosopher? I've been waiting for months for flipping photos of Jessica Rabbit playing patty cake.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
I loved it. Absolutely loved that. And do you know what, for me, the best bit of that film was the first 5 minutes with, was it Baby Herman, that cartoon. I love cartoons turned up really loud so you get all the bangs and the crashes. And I just.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
You know the flying cleaver right at Roger's crotch. And, you know, all the knives come flying. Boom, right there, right. It's very childish humor, but I still love it anyway. It's always funny, kind of like farts.
Yes, I'm always telling my daughter they're funny, but she doesn't believe me. But someone was it you saying about Creaky? You just came from Creaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually missed that he was on tonight, which is a shame. I do like watching Creaky. He's a very funny guy.
Oh yeah, especially when he does that weird video effect to his face and his voice. You know.
Oh, when his face is all sort of scrunched in the middle.
Yeah, the black hole in the middle thing.
But I was watching another one of his today. I watched the one, I think it was fairly recent, but I'd missed it for some reason. Not now. It was the one about that really obnoxious preacher. Did you see that?
Well, that doesn't narrow it down any.
No, it does. There's preachers and there's preachers. There's preachers taking advantage. There's preachers who are, also criminals. There's preachers that are enriching themselves, and there's this guy. He's just bloody obnoxious. Talk about I mean, lots of let's be honest. Lots of religious people find the whole concept of homosexuality extremely difficult to sit alongside the Bible, and I can understand that because some of the things written in the Bible. But this guy, he was horrible. You need to see it, honestly. A shit out for Creaky, my dad. That video is worth a look.
Drop me a link somewhere on the Discord.
That's a good idea. Let's see if I can find it. Although it should be just on Creaky's list of what's names. I'll try and find it, and I'll give a shout out. So I'm looking while we talk. I can't even find his blooming Discord right now. Where's he gone? Oh, I got him. So it'd be one of his videos.
My memory works perfectly as a colander.
Well, I found it straight away. So let me just grab it. So this is The American Preacher. So make sure you do not watch it straight away. Save the link for later. There it is in the live chat. Sorry, am I still here? Oh, yeah, good.
No, you're not.
I'm not. Oh, no. No, it's just that when I look at someone else's Discord or whatever, I suddenly think if I come out of the voice channel and leaving everyone deaf to what I'm saying, just like at the start of this live stream when I went and said hello to about 20 people, chatted about something, and then finally it came up and said, no sound. Oh, shit.
Yeah, guys, if you don't hear something, speak up right away.
Yeah, but I can't hear them, can I?
Well,
no,
I mean metaphorically. Type right away.
Yes. Flying Arc says, no matter how many times something's debunked, it's just repeated over and over. That's true. I mean, if you take anyone, Cold Moonlight, it's obviously stupid, and you could do several sort of experiments, but eventually you get to the point where we have totally proved that moonlight is not cold, it's not shining cold, and they're still totally refusing to accept it. So where do you go from there? When another one comes along and says, hey, did you know the moonlight is cold?
Well, we just get them to keep presenting different arguments. Then we get the sound bites. Then we put them together in a video. And then we make a DFOTY.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, they're an endless source of entertainment. I mean, why not? You know, if they're going to keep repeating what they say, we'll just keep repeating what we say.
Well, yeah. Actually, it could be really efficient here. And actually make a set of videos. You know, video number 1, cold moonlight. Video number 2, horizon, boats going over the horizon. Video number 3, height of the sun, or whatever. So when someone says, aha, did you know moonlight is cold? You just give them a link. There you go. Video number 1. Job done. Debunked. But it'll get quite boring, though.
Well, I don't know. Well, we can take points and see how many people. And I'm surprised Flat Earth Lost to Jesus isn't here yet.
Yeah, well, I'll address that in a second. But my deepest apologies for the second time tonight, Pi Parrot, I think, and April Van Ryn, both said, we did type right away, but obviously I didn't look at the side chat. I'm sure you did. I'm only kidding, guys, and I'm sorry about the screw up.
Oh, actually, that reminds me, I have an apology of my own to make. When I announced on the 11th that the channel was opening, I read my stuff wrong, and I was still on a lot of Dayquil and stuff. So that was my screw up entirely about that with the NASA Black Site channel launch. That was my screw up. I read things wrong. I thought we were going on that day. It's not the 11th. It's the 31st. But you know those threes, those Freemasonic threes.
Well, yeah.
That's what happened right there. Is the Illuminati was hiding that and trying to throw us off.
Sorry, I just saw something in the side chat and I've lost it again. Oh, it drives me crazy, that does. Oh, General Shady says that unlike boats, cakes disappear from the icing down. Very, very wise, very deep. Shady.
Good one. Clever. I like that.
And Mr. Stephen Huxtable has joined us in the side chat. Stephen is one of my excellent patrons. Thank you, Stephen. And says, FE debunking saturation? No way. I think you're right, Stephen. Because there's always another way to make him look like an idiot. I mean, philosopher nonsense. You've got this new channel thing coming up, and I'm sure that you'll tackle a lot of the same things in a totally different way.
Oh yeah, and I'm not worried about saturation. They're all a bunch of wet sponges anyway.
Actually, we had someone going on a forum some years ago. They were talking about climate change and saying that it was talking about sea level rising. And we just said, well, what you need to do is put more sponges in the ocean. They started arguing about it.
I said that forever. See, that's why we gotta clean up the oceans, and then there's more sea sponges that grow. They'll soak up all the water.
Yeah, absolutely. You understand it. Tell me more of this. Yeah. Tell me more of this new science of which you speak.
Yes, it's an incredible new science because with all the sponges soaking up the water, then that way we will have clean dishes in the ocean. All we need to do is also grow the coral because that will support the sponges, and then that'll be the scrubber side of the sponges.
I see. What about global temperature though? We need to do something. All we need to do is build more fridges and freezers and leave the doors open.
Exactly. Yeah, we just turn your air conditioners backwards and just air condition the outside, and then we cure global warming.
Well, you don't even need to do that because there's a bit expense in sort of retrofitting or just leave the windows open.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy.
Just take ice cubes. Go and freeze ice cubes and just throw them out in the front lawn.
Never mind this Greta Thunberg. I mean, we got the answer here.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, of course, it's good for business. You think of all the manufacturing of fridges and freezers we would encourage.
Oh yes, and the power companies they would love getting all that extra money too.
And instead of digging up all that nasty, dirty coal, we could just cut down all the forests and burn them instead to keep warm.
Yeah, it's much easier. Why dig a hole in the ground? I mean, we got all this stuff. We got all these trees right on the surface.
Well, this is true. Plus, of course, if you dig all these holes, what are you going to put in them? I don't know. Fluffs. We could dispose of fluffs.
There we go.
Yeah.
well, we'll just tell them that's how to get to the underground lizard people.
Mm.
And then once they're all in there, we quickly seal the hole.
Well, wasn't it this theory about Admiral Byrd saying that there's a big hole at the in Antarctica that enables you to get to the inner Earth? Excuse me, guys. I do apologise. It's been a busy few days. It's been enjoyable, busy. Sorry, where were we, philosopher? Philosopher of do you know, philosopher of nonsense. I've got a feeling that you may be talking nonsense. Tusk has got the answer. What we do to fill the holes is we use dirt from other holes.
There we go.
Just dig more holes. Yeah, absolutely. Any more problems that you have can be solved by Mr. Sensible and the philosopher of nonsense. Any challenge? Here
we are.
Yeah.
All we need to do is put it on YouTube, and then it'll be real science.
Yep. So if anyone has a world problem that they want solved within 2 minutes, please post it in chat now, and then we'll solve it. Oh, and Nell Pinion is going to go to see Greta on Friday, and we'll tell her about the sponges. Sweden thanks you. You're very welcome. You could sell them in IKEA. They'd be designer sponges, and they'd have some name like Bobby or something like that. Why is it they design this beautiful furniture, beautiful, I think it's eco-friendly, flat pack furniture at a reasonable price, and they call it something like Derek. What a stupid name for a chair or a shelf.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Derek's good to sit on.
It could be.
I really don't know how to come up with these names, but I
Well,
think they really have to run it past an English translator
yeah.
or someone who speaks good English, because
Although
there's some names that
I think that IKEA should sell a toilet and call it Anthony Riley. That would be well named. But
just Riley,
just
yeah.
Riley, to go for a Riley. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just nipping off for a quick Riley. Tusk has a
Yeah,
question for you, Pon. How do you set a 3 a.m. alarm on Alexa?
throw the Alexa out and buy a real alarm clock.
Well, you could, or you could just say, Alexa, set alarm for 3 a.m. every day.
Well, that's too easy.
Yeah, but I wonder how many people are going to get alarms going off at 3 a.m. And Pi Parrot has a Billy bookcase. Yeah, I.
I've seen that Billy bookcase. I
Yes,
was like, who's Billy?
in
They have something else. It's, well, let's just say it's effin, but I don't know. It's like some sort of like ironing board or something like that.
called what?
But I well, F
FN.
F word. I'm censoring myself.
Oh, okay. Perhaps they should call it something like the Nathan Oakley ironing board because it's flat.
No, are you kidding? Nathan Oakley doesn't iron his clothes.
No, no.
I'm
Someone's
not
just
sure he
asked.
even watches them.
Someone's just General Shady's just said, WTF. I have no idea what that stands for. WTF is a Billy bookcase. Well, General, if you've ever been to IKEA or have a look at their website at some point, all their furniture, whether it's chairs, tables, or bookcases, every item has a name, but they're strange names. And there is a bookcase called Billy. Why Billy? Nobody knows.
And by the way, WTF means what the flurf.
Oh, is that
Not
what it?
flirt.
Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Lumfao, LMFAO.
Laughing my effing ass off.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm privy to all the kids' lingos these days.
Well, philosopher, you're missing it. I do actually know. I just don't say it myself.
No, see, you've been on social media too much when you actually say "lol" as a word.
Yes. Or equally bad when someone says OMG.
Yeah.
Snafu. Absolutely right, General Shady. Snafu. Do you know that one?
Situation normal, all effed
fucked
up.
up. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Oh well, I wasn't aware I was going to. I could just say "fucked up."
No, you can't. I'm going to kick you off.
Oh darn!
I've thrown him out. All right, you can come back again.
Well, that's fucked up.
No, basically, just people are going to say words like that from time to time. That's fine. What I don't want is the gratuitous effing and blinding, like you might get on one of the arguments on Oakley's channel or whatever. I'm sure you understand. So there's a difference between saying yada 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 and then a swear word, or like he's a bloody idiot. That's, do you know what I mean? That's one thing, but to be using every other word because that's the extent of what do you call it? Your vocabulary. Then
Well, yeah. I mean,
Fubar.
when you're what is it? When you're cussing like a sailor, or sailing like a cusser.
Yeah. Well, Surf has just said, WTF? You don't know what WTF is, Mr. Sensible? What WTF have you been? WTF would you not know? I mean, WTF. And Stephen Huxtable says, Jutmonk. Yes. If there's any swear words I don't know, I'll nip over to Jutmonk, the Drunk Monkey's channel. I'll soon learn them. Have you ever seen his stuff, philosopher?
Oh, yes. He reminds me a lot of myself. It's,
okay.
Except for the prehensile tail part.
Yeah. And do you do what he does, which is hide in trees, roll up his turds and throw them at people?
Except for the hiding in trees part, I just do it straight up on the street.
Okay. Okay. Uh, uh, right, Mr. Victor's
Sharing,
actually got
sharing.
a question for you. Uh, what's our take? Well, it's for both of us, I guess. What's our take on the new flirts that seem to be popping up? I did see one the other day. I've forgotten his name now, and he was very, very confident in what he felt was the case, and it was a gish gallop, but it wasn't a full speed gish gallop. You know, saying blah 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 horizon, blah 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 sun, blah 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 ice wall, blah blah blah. Each thing he was talking about. So, although each was rubbish, he didn't just spout it out. He chatted about each of these little mini subjects. But I lost interest, and then I went and did something else. I think I might pick my nose or so. I don't know. But a new dude. Ooh, I've got a new subscriber. That's nice.
Well, I only have two words for the new flurfers coming in: fresh meat.
That's true. Yeah.
I love internet trolls. They're delicious, and I consider a lot of the flurfers troll.
Well, actually, I'm going to give a shout out to a troll in the comments section of quite a few of my videos for a little while. There's been a troll who I've had to give several warnings to, and a final warning because he was just making personal attacks on me. I don't mind saying someone saying yeah da 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 you bold idiot. That's fine, but these were really quite strong, and that was the entire argument was some personal attack. And I said, look, just don't do that. Don't do put. You're welcome to come in, but stop with his personal attacks. He did another one. I said, right, that's your last one. Another one of those, and you are blocked. And I don't want to do that, but it's your choice. And then he's carried on just with sort of flirty arguing. That's fine. On the wedding video, the wedding dance video, he posted a comment. And he just posted a comment saying something like, congratulations to your daughter on her wedding. I hope she has a lovely life. And something like that. A straightforward, nice congratulations message. So I responded and said, just pointed out to anyone who didn't know, that domesticated primate is probably my biggest troll. Thank you for the congratulations, much appreciated. And then he responded and said, there's a time and a place for everything. So thank you. If you are watching this domesticated primate, I appreciate that. And you're quite correct. There is a time and place for everything. That comment was very much appreciated. Thank you. So I'll give you credit for that.
There might be some redemption in them yet, but that's why I love nailing them on the comment section or in the live chat and stuff like that, because once they start up with that, then at first they just go around trolling everybody, just irritating everybody, and then like, oh no, hold on, you got my attention now, you have my full attention. Now you're going to regret that you have my full attention.
Well, I did that with someone who made a few comments, so I went and had a look at his channel, found a crappy video, and then I pulled that to bits. I did a debunk on one of his videos. Thought, exactly as you said, yeah, you have an argument, that's fine, but he really grabbed my attention. Joseph Petrick says, I'm not bold. Thank you, Joseph. I'm not. It's a lifestyle choice, and I will grow my hair back if I so wish.
I was bald once.
Sorry?
I was bald once.
Was you? And what happened?
I lost a bet.
Okay. What was the bet?
But well, it was because I used to be a delivery driver, and I've been walking on my right arm for at least 20 years. This is back when I was still on a cane. But I got a pretty good right arm. I'll put a hole through a concrete pillar, like in the Matrix kind of thing, but
yeah.
Apparently this guy was a little bit younger and a little bit stronger. It was a long, arduous fight, believe me, but he did eventually tucker me out.
Yeah.
And the bet was that I would shave my head. So I shaved my head. And that was the first time my scalp had ever seen sunlight.
Doesn't it feel odd the very first time? because it was the same with me. It was an actual positive decision. I'd gone and had my hair cut, and I thought, bloody hell, I'm not going to keep paying £5 for them just to keep trimming it. I'm going to get a pair of trimmers and just do it myself. But I didn't have any at that point, so I went into the barbers and I said, take the whole lot off, please, number one. Are you sure? Yep. And I just popped out at lunchtime from work. So I went out with a full head of hair, came back looking like this, and boy, were people shocked. But it felt so odd. Just even the gentle little breezes you get on a day with no wind, you could feel every little bit.
I could feel a fly fart in Mexico.
Can you now?
With my scalp. Yeah. What was crazy is I have long hair now, like past shoulder length.
Yeah.
And that's how I had it back then. So I literally like shaved off like 1.5 to 2 feet of hair. And like people were definitely shocked when they saw me, but I realized very quickly why they say if you shave your head, don't go out in the sun right away and use sunscreen.
Yeah.
I went out in the sun for 5 minutes. I was like, oh wow, I can feel the infrared radiation of the sun, and the X radiation and the gamma radiation. I can feel a solar flare. I can feel the texture of the sun on my scalp.
I think it's affected your brain, mate.
Just kept it a little warm, a little crispy, golden brown.
Well, I actually used to have a ponytail, and at one time I worked at a place in London involved in the music industry. And of course, in the music industry, you get people with all sorts of weird and wonderful hairstyles. And so I thought I'd do something to fit in. So I had my hair spiked on the top, shaved at the sides. It was long at the back with 3 bleached stripes. Boy, did that look different. And while you all think of that, what I'd quickly like to do is just thank my patrons. As ever, massive, massive thanks to all my patrons, including new patrons Francis Chimenti, William Foley, Alice Vangstrom, John Roswell, Tech Blog, and Pyro Kitty Cat, and my very latest patrons, Mr. Victory and Claire Johnson. Thank you all so very much. And we're back again. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I've got rather a lot of patrons, all of whom I really appreciate. So where were we, Philosopher?
You had spiked hair.
Oh yeah. So and at one time I had quite a long ponytail. So this is just a change. I might go back to it.
I don't think that'll be I think that'll be actually a pretty interesting look for you.
Yeah.
That would be actually pretty fun if you and Creaky switched looks.
It could do, couldn't it? I have actually tried what do you call it? Breaking Bad style goatee beard, and it was all right. You get past that itchy stage, but I got fed up looking after it.
Yeah, especially like when you got these big sky towers on your head, and you start to realize that, oh no, the hairspray's breaking. The last thing you want is them break at the base, and you get one that's sort of wilted. It just doesn't quite pop the. Yeah. People, when I was shaved, people said I looked everything from Kojak to
Who Loves You, Baby.
Yeah, exactly. To Walter from Breaking Bad, actually.
Yeah. Oh, Breaking Bad. I loved that. Absolutely loved it. Did you see Dexter?
Dexter, the cartoon?
No, Dexter, the series that was on Netflix. Absolutely phenomenal. I think, personally, it's of a similar sort of quality. Dexter is, what do you call it? He's a psychopath, and he kills people. But he was the tagline for the TV show was America's favourite serial killer. Honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. Thoroughly recommend it. You will not regret it. Just like Breaking Bad.
I might have to download that. Borrow that sometime.
I'll just shout out Turquoise Laura. Thank you. I appreciate your help. And my apologies for last week or the week before when I I ended up apologising to you about 4 times because of messages I put on Discord when I didn't need to all over the place. And I note that you've been running around Discord tonight advertising this stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. And now Pinion lives Dexter and then he asterisk love. Do you now? Now. Oh dear. So, we're wandering off this topic as ever on my channel. Yeah. So I don't know if anyone else has any other topics they wish to discuss. Pop them in the chat. Yeah. It's getting hard sometimes to find people to debunk, partly from what you were saying, Philosopher. Or was it you saying about so many of them doing sort of 5-hour streams?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, it wasn't you. Oh, Joe Kelleher.
I don't know.
Joe Kelleher says, I'm just watching Breaking Bad now. Absolutely brilliant, Joe. You won't regret it. Mrs. Sensible, I got her to watch the first episode and she, well, that's all right. I said, stick with it. And after a couple, she was absolutely hooked. Watched a lot.
Yeah, now you never get away. Now you never get away from it.
Yeah.
There is one spoiler I have to give away. They're doing drugs.
I mean, I don't want to give anything away either, but a character I really loved was Gus.
Yeah, I like Gus, especially when he did that thing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, you're in for a treat. I don't know how much of it you've watched, Joe, but you're really in for a treat. Although Tuss says it was pants, but there you go. I guess everyone has different tastes. Everyone has different tastes.
I finally got around to watching that new Star Wars, and everybody was all complaining, "Oh, it destroys the whole canon and everything." I just didn't quite see that. I thought it was all right.
I've not seen it. I want to rewatch the 2 just before it, before I watch it, so I've got it all fresh in my mind. So I get all the detail. You know, I do like the Star Wars films. I can remember. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember when I was, whatever, it was 77, wasn't it? The first Star Wars? I think it was. So I was 10 years old. And I remember on the kids' TV programs on Saturday mornings, they were doing trailers for it, showing the bit where they're fighting TIE fighters in the Millennium Falcon. And those special effects looked out of this world at that time. And I went along and saw it with my brother. And, yeah, it was just brilliant. Nothing like that before.
All I remember, because when the first one came out, I was still in diapers.
Okay.
I just remember like there just being so much hype over the next movie coming out. Like there was Star Wars everything.
Yeah.
You know how they had the action figures and stuff.
Yeah.
I had Darth Vader, I had Luke Skywalker, I had Yoda, I had R2D2, C3PO, and really, if I could go back in time, I would have stolen them for myself.
Yeah.
Now I would have been heartbroken as a kid, but right now, if I had them, I could buy myself a very nice Bugatti.
Yes.
If I had them.
Original ones, still boxed. Yes.
Yes, and they didn't have that cheap plastic cloth cape stuff. No, it was real cloth cape, and like just I don't know, just phenomenal the quality of toys back then. When they had a big movie promotion, back when McDonald's had Legos and the Happy Meals, now they just have these cheap plastic Chinese one-piece toys.
Well, yeah, but I absolutely adored it. It was just because right from when I was a kid, I loved space. I loved the whole thing of the possibility of aliens. I used to read science fiction. Okay, it was more kids' science fiction, but I loved all that stuff, and that really just brought it to life. Really did.
Me like I'd love to like space was definitely my thing. Like the first time anyone ever asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said I wanted to be an astronaut. Sounds pretty typical, but no, I was actually like, studying the stuff, like grabbing science books anywhere I could,
Yeah.
trying to learn about space. Like, I'm going to learn everything about space, and I'm going to go to NASA, and I'm going to know everything about space. And they're just going to be like, oh, we're just going to put you right on the space shuttle. I was, you know what space camp is?
Yes.
I was actually going to go to space camp, but you had to be 14.
Yeah.
I was 9 years old when I was
Oh,
formally invited by NASA.
you were invited. Did you
I
say?
was, representatives from NASA came down to my school in
Yeah.
front of everybody and invited me to space camp because I blew away. I had the highest SAT scores in the state at the time. I completely blew away the SAT test in first grade,
Uh,
and they were so shocked that it apparently got NASA's attention, and they
wow.
said, "We want you for space camp." And I was like, I mean, just imagine like you're heroes
Yeah.
when you're like you're in first grade, and you know
I
you
had
got
no idea it
this
was
is
like that. I just, I mean, that sounds great, but I just assumed it was just like any other camp that I know American kids. It's big on summer camps. I just presumed it was another one of those sort of things, just for anyone who's interested in that. I didn't realise it was sort of that level of seriousness. But
oh no, they take you down to the space, like they fly you down to the space center. You
oh
actually
wow,
live like yeah, and like you do like pre-training, pre-astronaut training there. You get
yeah,
to be in the simulators. You get to see like the JPL and all that stuff. You literally get to be on. You live on the NASA grounds,
that sounds.
so that's where
Oh,
you're camping.
I would have.
It's not just some tents in a forest.
No, no, I would have died for something like that. But at this point, I'm just going to bring someone else into chat. 1 second. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello.
And I believe we've got 3 a.m.
Yes, a friend of mine just changed my name in the other Discord. So
Oh, I wonder if I can change it back. Do you want me to change it back? Or change it to
I'm
anything?
3 a.m. would be fine. I'm trying to change it back, but it's impossible.
How about this then? See if. There you go.
Oh, there.
3 a.m.
Thank you very much. You can tell I have good friends.
You certainly do. Good evening to you. How are you, sir?
Good, good.
Good, good, good. And we've got Philosopher of Nonsense in. Were you both in here together last time? I can't remember.
I don't think he wasn't here.
I was here last time. I know I was.
But whether that was the time 3 a.m. was here or not, I don't know. I can't
No,
remember.
actually, I think I was. I think yeah, we were here about the same time.
Well, this is lovely, isn't it? So how how are you doing in 3 a.m.?
Good. I went back to do my quote unquote old job, so not bad.
Job.
Job schmob.
I know, right?
Well, I'm still on my long vacation. I've got until the 30th. 31st, I'll go back to work, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. Longest break I've had in many years. Super chat. Excellent.
I actually like my job. I mean, travel a lot, but besides that,
Okay. Well, I just seen a super chat has come in from a Mr. 3 a.m. Paranormale Horror for €2 saying, "Thank you, sir." No, thank you, sir.
I don't know who that guy is.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, and some Streamlabs guy keeps posting that he just did it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Streamlabs guy, he sounds pretty.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to change your name to Streamlabs.
Yeah,
That would be
But you would have
interesting.
to change your Google name, though.
Oh. Yeah,
no,
yes,
you can
you
do
would,
that on
yeah.
the fly anyway.
Yeah, but then you won't be able to change it back for a while.
Oh, Pie Parrot said the 31st is her birthday and I should take the day off because of that. Well, Pie Parrot, just in case I don't see you again, because I'll only be doing one more live stream on the big board between now and then, have yourself a very happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, coming up real soon. Yeah, have a nice one, Pie. Pip, Pie Parrot.
Then I should say it in Italian. Buon
Yeah.
compleanno.
Go on, say it again.
Buon compleanno.
Bon
Compleanno.
compleanno.
Yes.
Ah, there we go. Bon
and if
compleanno.
people can't search that on Google, it's not offensive. It's
Yes, I didn't
actually-
think about that. I might have just sworn.
I just taught you how to curse really badly.
No, I didn't do that.
No.
I would say in Hawaiian, but I actually forgot what it was at the moment. I haven't spoken Hawaiian in well over 25 some odd. I can say good morning.
In Hawaiian?
Yeah.
Go on in.
It's aloha kakahiaka e Mr. Sensible.
That sounded like you were saying hello to two people.
Yeah, it did really.
Well, that's just a reverb. I got to turn my reverb down right there.
No, we were talking about the words because you said Mr. Sensible. It sounded like and Mr. Sensible.
Yeah.
No, it's just ed. Like e is e. Just a standalone vowel is just pronounced e.
And what does that mean?
It's sort of a connecting word
Okay.
to say like I'm addressing something.
All right.
But then again, there's a lot of words in Hawaiian that it's it's a lot about like aloha has 11 different meanings.
Damn.
It's just it depends on how you use it.
Or is it just
you know,
that, is it just that they couldn't think of any other words? Oh, we'll call that the same word as well. Oh, and that animal,
Yeah.
that furry little animal that barks, we'll call that the same thing as well. Save making up another word.
Yeah, it's kind of like we would call them gremlins, but the Hawaiians they call them menehunis.
Many hoonies. Wasn't that in
Yeah, they're very
Pulp Fiction? The big kahuna burger.
yeah the big kahuna. Kahuna is of course king.
Oh, is it? Oh, I see. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, big kahuna burger. That's probably the only Hawaiian reference I've seen in Hollywood in a long, long time.
Book him, Dano. That means nothing to you?
I know. I'm thinking.
Book him, Dano. That doesn't ring a bell.
No, it does, but I just don't remember the.
Nobody tell him. Let him guess.
No, how
Leave
dare
him
you.
suffering.
I hate you guys.
Oh, dear. So have you had a good week then, 3am?
Yeah, pretty much. How about you?
Well, a wedding?
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Philosopher Nonsense, don't read the side chat, will you, while you're trying to work it out? Oops, indeed, Pop Parrot. Yeah, it was my daughter's wedding on Saturday, and
That's what I thought it was.
Oh, yeah, sure you did. Oh, yeah, that was the answer you were going to give.
Well, I told you my memory is terrible. It takes a while for me to.
Are you
recall.
sure? Are you sure you told me that?
Oh, snap.
Sure, wait.
I'm screwing with your mind now.
Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. Causing a short circuit there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I attract a bunch of weirdos, both in side chat and voice chat. Oh, Erebathron, good evening to you. Erebathron, another of my patrons. I hope you saw the patron roll did go up a few minutes ago, Erebathron. And actually, let's take just a few seconds. You guys in voice chat are going to be cut off for a minute. I just want to show everybody the full image of Mr. Victory's artwork. Absolutely stunning. I've forgotten the name of it again, and he said it was something else. I guess I should believe what he said. Makes no odds. He's got a whole bunch of these beautiful, beautiful abstract images, and so if you're interested in any of them, either as prints or whatever, then give him a shout. Just email him at that address, mrvictory77@outlook.com. mrvictory77@outlook.com. And I'm really grateful, Mr. V, for letting me use these as a backdrop during my streams. Excellent stuff. So guys, you're back again.
Well, I'm a little bit to the left.
Are you now? Are you? You swing to the left.
Yeah. How's it hanging? Oh, a little to the left.
Parrot says that it looks very strawberryish. What it reminded me of was, do you remember that old film? It's probably 1970s, but you must have seen it on repeats with Raquel Welch. Fantastic Voyage, where they get miniaturized and injected into a body. It sort of looks like heart tissue or something like that to me. That image.
I was thinking kind of like the Blob, actually.
The
I
Blob.
thought that's
It creeps.
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
Yeah, the Blob. It creeps. It leaps. It covers all the doors, the floors, the walls. That Blob.
The strawberry reptilian octopus.
I wouldn't talk about our overlords like that.
No, you should be respectful.
Yes.
But I am an overlord.
I'd forgotten I was, but since I wasn't told in the first place by God when He created me as a reptilian overlord, and I only found out by accident, it's not surprising. Sorry, General Shane, you said yes, Mr. Sense will beat you to it. Beat what to it? The Fantastic Voyage, was that? Don't know. Oh, here's an interesting topic. Now Pinion, there's Mr. Now of Mr. Now and Mr. Pinion, says he's going to China in a few weeks and wants tips from anyone of any experiments he can do during a trip. You know, flat Earth stuff. Well, there you go. Has anyone got an experiment that he can do?
I got a tip for him. I would look at the map because I know there's like an outbreak of there's a virus that's like going crazy in China. So he should look at the map where that virus is and stay away from that place.
That's probably good to.
Yeah.
Or perhaps buy a ticket for Nathan Oakley and tell him that there is cast iron proof of flat Earth, and send him on a ticket to the ground zero for the disease. See what see what happens.
That's cruel, Mr. Sensible. That disease would not be that was not very nice to the disease.
The disease would catch an Oakley, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Is that the guy with the liquid oxygen in the atmosphere?
I've no idea about Oakley's views. I mean, he's just an obnoxious toe rag. You've not come across him?
That's the guy.
Yes. Yeah, he's got a channel. He has daily streams, gets people on there, and at first he'll start off with them and sound reasonably reasonable, but then he'll go off on one, start muting them. His volume is louder than everyone else's anyway, and then he gets abusive and eventually boots them out, which is why most debunkers won't even bother speaking to him. And actually, I was thinking about that earlier on today, Philosopher. How much do you actually hear about Oakley? You just don't now.
Yeah, you just don't hear about him too much, aside from when we do talk about him like this. But,
yeah, exactly. But
outside of that,
no one's arguing against whatever crap theories or whatever he's coming up with. No one's bothering, and no one's going to go on his channel.
He keeps changing his theories, though. I mean, before he used to say that there was a dome and all that stuff, and now he says that there isn't, and he makes that's what he always said, but like he just changed right to that and made like that's what he always said. So he keeps flipping around. All he's doing, he's using the subject of flat Earth just to generate arguments. I think that's what he gets off on. It's just arguing.
Oh, I thought it was more generating money.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
Yeah. And as Stephen Huxtall's just said, leave him in his bubble. And to be honest, Stephen, I think that's what people are doing.
He means in his dome.
In his dome, yes. I like it.
I think I understand these people, the flat earthers and stuff. I mean, we all want to, feel important and that we know stuff, but learning real stuff is hard. So we just make stuff up and feel important.
Do you think it's just that? Or that it's just like persuading other people that they're important?
That too, probably a combination.
Yeah, I'd say a good part of it is ego. That and of course the easy way to scam money out of people. I mean, the Margile. You remember him?
Oh yes.
Uh, well, uh, he actually got someone to give him $1,000, super chat him $1,000 for his car because he wrecked it because he was on drugs when he was driving.
And someone actually super chatted him $1,000.
Yep. And then he got a new car, and then he wrecked that one too.
That's unbelievable that someone would be stupid enough to do it.
Especially Super Chat, where Google takes a good chunk of it.
Yes. Yeah, he'd have done better to say, here's my email address, I'll PayPal it. At least they only take about 3% or whatever it is.
There you go.
That's unreal. Absolutely unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he doesn't do much he doesn't move so much no more.
No.
I think I stepped on him too hard too many times.
Ha.
I think maybe calling the cops on that might have.
So I'm just.
Oh wait, that's right. I didn't call the cops on him. That's right. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Have you guys seen much of this rubbish about Onision?
Rings a bell.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of it on Unirock. I think Unirock got a little too swept up in it.
Okay.
But he's just a drama queen, and there was one where Chris Hansen came to his house and he called the cops on him.
Yes. Yeah. Because Creaky, because I'll be honest and say I had never heard of him, and Creaky did one on him. So I've looked at a couple bits. Obviously, I'm way behind the curve because it's been going on for quite a while, and it seems like a very involved story. But I did see one today because someone had put. There was a debunk of one of his videos, and they said that there are some Onision mirror channels because Onision likes to copyright claim and then claim the advertising revenue or something. So in this mirror channel, the first thing they do is put 30 seconds of really bad swearing so it won't get monetized, and then just mirror his whole video. But this particular one, it said something like outtakes, Onision outtakes. And you've seen these bits on Creaky and wherever else where he's screaming and crying and doing all this. But on this outtakes, it's the full clip where he sets it up, stands there, then starts screaming and then stops and goes and checks his camera. It's all fake. It's, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it's just a show. Well, except for him indoctrinating teenage girls to be his slaves, but aside from that, yeah, all his drama about him whining and crying and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's all rubbish.
His fake going, like flipping out so much he's throwing up or whatever like that. It's like, oh, come on, please. Mommy didn't hold you enough.
Yeah, there was one with him. He carefully got down, laying on the floor with his head sort of on a blanket or a rug, and he got himself very comfortable, and then he faked an epileptic fit, and then he stopped, laughed, just got up. It's disgusting, and I can't wait to see him go down.
Yeah, I don't know how he got so popular in the first place, and I never heard of him. I mean, like before all this drama started unfolding, I'd never heard of the guy before.
Yeah. Well, there's all the stuff about the young girls, of course, because I think originally he used to do shows where he would rate girls. They send their pictures in and he'd rate them, which is a rather tasteless and demeaning, but then he ended up rating sort of 14-year-old girls and so on. It's disgusting.
Well, that's kind of how Facebook started.
Yeah. Rate my boobs, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, but I just don't think he's really worth the oxygen so much. He's gonna land in jail or a mental institution or something.
Yeah, well, originally when I saw him, I actually thought about the mental institution side of things because he really looked as though. Sorry, he really looked as though he was out there. But then, certainly now I've seen this video, all that side of things is totally fake. So that leaves him with the all the stuff about the very young girls and so on. And I don't think he's going to do very well there. Especially, I've forgotten that guy's name. Chris something, was it? Chris
Hansen?
That's the one. Yeah. I did see that one. So, yes, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, Chris Hansen is big in the States for To Catch a Predator.
Yes, yeah. And I'd never heard of him before either.
He'd been his whole career has been pretty much catching these people online predators and stuff like that. I remember watching him like forever ago back when I had a TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is they never do anything to them. They just catch them and let them go.
But that's all the TV show can do, is dig up the evidence. So what they should really... I suppose half the time, if they do that and dig up evidence, if things haven't been done properly, they would, in effect, spoil any chance of a prosecution anyway.
Well, they didn't exactly let him go because what he would do is he'd go and do his little approach thing, and he'd be like, oh yeah, you can go ahead and walk out, whatever, and they go and walk out right into the hands of the actual police.
Oh, that'd be good.
If you follow
he did that every time.
I know, but if you look what happens to them afterwards, not much.
Well, yeah, that's a good old American legal system for you.
That's the same in Italy. Don't worry about it.
Guys, carry on. I just got to let Arnold out. He's desperate to go outside. Back in one sec. You carry on talking.
Arnold is seeking the flurfs. He needs to eat flurfs.
There you go. I wonder where our Australian Jesus is.
And I can't. I'm sorry. Go on. Carry on.
I thought I saw him on a earlier. Well, I don't know. I've been catching up on some back streams because I was like out for 2 weeks sick. But I mean, he hasn't been around recently. I don't know. I think he's starting to realize that people are catching on to what I suspected the whole time, is that he's kind of just going on for attention.
Who's this? Stuanisian?
No, Ross.
Oh, Fuzzy Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's just he's doing the rounds just to get attention.
He is appearing rather a lot here. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way he didn't understand some of the things we talked to him last time, like the examples.
Well, like he's been doing a lot of his story keeps changing. I mean, his story keeps changing a bit. He before he said that the moon was dug up from the earth, and filled with helium, and the sun was a portal. But now he just recently is saying, "Oh, it's just a projection." And stuff like that.
What he was saying with that, because I was on a stream with him when he first seemed to start talking about that. The sun is whatever it was, and I never did get an answer for that at some greater distance, but it's appearing as a projection only a short distance above us, but depending where you are, it will appear above you. I suppose imagine just a translucent screen, so it lights up a circle on that screen. I mean, it's all rubbish anyway.
Right. Kind of like if you had a flood lamp at an angle to a diffuse window. It's like that's not where the light really is, but that's where it shines on the glass.
Yes.
Although that doesn't even hold any water either, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do indeed? There's some interesting comments about it in the chat. I'll leave those comments just to be read. I'm not going to.
People are saying.
Well, I was just going to say I'm not going to read them out. I mean, the one thing I'd say is Ross seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, it's just a little off, but someone was saying, people are saying, don't say it too much. You might summon. Kind of like saying a Hail Mary in the mirror or something.
Yeah.
Nah, I tried that when I was a kid. Nothing happened.
Good night now, Pinion. See you on Friday. Everyone, watch out for it. Now Pinion's doing a channel takeover on this channel, 2100 UTC. Thank you, and good night. That's good night to him, everybody. I'm not going yet. Okay?
Anything. I mean, his story would make more sense if he would go down the simulation path. You know, they're just glitches in the Matrix.
Oh, is that what he's been saying as well?
No. I mean, his story would make more sense, so to speak, if he would go down that path. Because he doesn't have an explanation, and he would just say, "Well, it's a glitch."
Well, that's convenient, isn't it?
He needs to try his argument with a different model. You know, do the Matrix model would make more sense. You know, yeah, I can see that.
Well, the Matrix. I mean that. You
I'll be right back.
wouldn't know. You wouldn't know, would you? If you were in effect a brain in a jar connected up to some sort of AI computer system, whatever, which is feeding you everything. Your everything your senses is receiving: sight, taste, hearing, and so on. How would you know?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't. I don't know if you've ever read the earlier, not the original June books by Frank Herbert, but his son and whoever it is wrote some prequel books, and there are these things called the Titans. Yes, it's very far-fetched, but these guys actually had their brains removed from bodies and basically put in canisters which could connect to different robot bodies, but everything that they experience comes through probes into the brain. So yeah, if you plug that into a computer, what's the difference? I mean, I thought the Matrix was rather good. It's not original. I mean, I've come across that sort of thing before, but I thought it was done very well.
Well, that sounds like Futurama.
Okay.
No, because Futurama, like, you know, they have Nixon in a jar. You know, they have all sorts of people in a jar, right? All the, you know, the people from the, you know, 2000s and stuff. You know, they have all their heads in a jar and they can talk in the jar. But Nixon, you know, he put himself on a giant robot so he could take over and win the election. I don't know if you've seen Futurama. It's a great cartoon series.
Only a couple of little bits.
You have got to see it. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's time, man, time. I've got so many box sets and films and things lined up on Netflix. I never get to watch. I think the last time I sat down and watched something, it's got to be about 3 weeks ago. I mean, I listen to the news. I'm quite addicted to news. So if I'm in the house, doing stuff where I can listen as well, I'll switch the news on. But aside from that, I just don't get to do it. I'll be honest, I spend a lot of my time here on the Flat Earth and the YouTube side of things, which I really enjoy. But TV, just not getting to see it.
I don't even have a TV.
Oh, well, there you go. And in the chat, we got Mr. Timo, my man, pa. It says, hello, it's me, your favourite guy with the easily pronounced name. Thanks, Timo.
That's like the giant bouncer named Tiny.
I used to, when I was a kid, I used to go to Boy Scouts, and there was a guy who helped out. He was huge. He's got to be sort of 6'6" or whatever. He's sort of American football player sort of build. Absolutely huge. And he had a big beard as well. And his name was Tiny, which was brilliant.
Oh, well, of course, anyone who's gigantic, you have to name them Tiny, you know.
Got to be done,
that's just tradition.
Good night, Tusk. Thank you for joining us tonight. And there was a comment I wanted to... Where is it? I'm just scrolling back. Deep in Uranus says, hey, folks, just turned up. What's Slaphead on about tonight? Oh, well, that's nice, isn't it? What's Slaphead on about?
Well, Uranus smells like farts, because of course.
Of course.
But we all know the other planets don't exist. So
Spunchik. Adam L. Spunchik. The other planets don't exist. What are we going to do?
Well,
Talking
well,
about
I know
stuff.
they exist. I put them there.
Oh well, that's all right. But you know they're talking. I mean, you've got SpaceX getting further and further on. They're doing much better than I must admit than I thought they would. And there's talk about the new moon shot and whatever and Mars. Let's say it's 5 years from now, and they do another landing on the moon with better quality video and whatever. What do you think the flat earthers are going to make of it? Do you think they're just going to claim it's all CGI?
Yeah,
Because
they'll just.
I was going to say, because of course CGI and special effects are infinitely more possible now than they were back in the late 60s.
Well, they will call 35 millimeter film CGI. Also, I don't think they know actually what CGI stands for.
I know.
It's just some sort of tag word that they use, just like they
So
say
it means fake.
indoctrination. Yeah,
Yeah.
CGI just means fake.
But
So,
it's what let's. I mean, I'm sure NASA don't give a rat's ass what flat earthers think. But if they thought, right, we actually want to show these flat earthers that all this is real, what could they do? What do you think would actually satisfy them and make them think, do you know what? Actually, we can't debunk that. It is real. Do you think there's
Nothing.
anything?
no,
no. There's a way. There's a way. We take them all to the moon, right? And we let them all outside, right? So they can all walk on the moon. And then we say, okay, if you think it's so, anyone who thinks it's a movie set, take off your.
they wouldn't go. They would find some excuse like, no, they're gonna drug me or something like that. So
Yeah. That's well, all their life is about making excuses for things they don't understand.
Well, actually, Adam L's just put in there. There's a video of Nvidia, the graphics card people, trying to fake the landing with their graphic cards. Actually, Adam, I've seen that, but it's more that they misled the audience, saying, "Look, here is a photo from the moon landing, and you can see this light and shade and whatever." And then they swung round in 3D to show that it was an Nvidia graphics card. But then they compared, because they'd done the calculations where the sun was at that moment and so on, and did ray tracing, and it looked exactly like the original photos, showing it was correct. It was absolutely stunning. It's worth people having a look at that. Look for Nvidia moon. I don't know what it would be called. Moon images or something. Moon pictures. Absolutely brilliant video. Have you seen that, you guys?
I haven't.
Oh, it really is worth a look. Obviously, I've let the cat out of the bag, but it's a big shock because you think you're looking at one of the original photos almost. If you didn't question it, you would just assume you're looking at the original photo, and they were just explaining how the light would reflect this way and that way, and then all of a sudden it's like you're there, sort of 3D, because it swings around, because of course it is just a 3D generated image, and it's stunning, absolutely stunning.
yeah, but it took them 50 years to do that image.
Yeah, they're not
So-
exactly doing it real time.
Yeah, they don't have electromechanical CPUs or computers, so
Yeah, well, we went to the moon on TV parts,
I know.
and those were old TV parts. We didn't have surface mount technology back.
But I mean, we've when you think about it, on the ISS, they've got those amazing cameras giving the view of the Earth, and Global Mom's just posted a link to that Nvidia debunks conspiracy theories about the moon landing. That's the one. Really, really worth a watch. So grab that link, everybody, if you haven't seen it. It's cracking stuff.
I like when you have flat earthers that say, well, that's not how you walk on, like, reduced gravity, because they're bouncing around and, stumbling around. Well, how would you walk in reduced gravity?
Well, they're obviously the experts because they've done it before. They've walked in reduced gravity. Apparently, they're obviously the expert.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I'm trying to find a good as good a quality clip as possible of when they were on the moon, when they had the moon buggy, because if you can see it, but I'd just like to see if I can get a really clear copy. When the buggy's driving along and it's kicking up the regolith of the moon, the dust, it moves in perfect arcs, showing that there is no atmosphere there. So it's not done in a studio, because with anything dusty and sandy, you're going to get a bit of billowing and cloudy. Oh no, this dust just goes in an arc. Have a look at that. It's really worth studying that. No one that I've come across has mentioned it.
Yeah, but if the moon is made of cheese, that would be Parmigiano Grattugiato, not dust.
Well, I suppose so. I suppose great, sort of like
what he
grated
said.
parmesan.
Yes.
Was that what you said?
Parmigiano Grattugiato.
Which means exactly what? Word for word, as best you can.
Well, Parmigiano is the name, and Grattugiato would be grated.
Oh, wow. So I could speak or understand Italian without even knowing I could understand Italian.
Yeah, some words are similar.
Don't spoil it. I was impressed with myself.
Well, a lot of words do kind of derive from Latin, and I mean, we have a lot. It's like caution is or danger. No, well, not danger so much, but like caution didn't really start off as an English word to begin with. In Spanish, I mean, it's cuidado, right? It doesn't sound the same, but if you think about it, there are close relations if you just know how to look.
But when there's lots of words that you can see similarities to, and it's quite a good example of evolution, the way things have evolved, because you get those idiots. So someone mentioned Conspiracy Cats and his debate with Kent Hovind, because when you talk about these creationists, that you often get that stupid argument. If we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? Well, Americans have in effect evolved, if you like, from Europeans and others. Why are there still Europeans? They just don't get it. That it's a separation. I mean, no. I mean, if English and French and German and that all have their roots in Latin, there was no Latin-speaking mum and dad who had a child who spoke German. The language evolved over time and as people spread and so on.
Well, yeah, like with the puppy dog eyes. You get the dog that gives you those eyes.
Yeah.
It's like you just have to go, aw, right?
Yeah.
Domesticated dogs, that behavior actually evolved from domestication because dogs know that works on people.
So non-domesticated animals don't do that, perhaps to their parents or whatever.
No, they don't do that. They don't do that. They won't. Well, they won't. They certainly won't look at another species and try to do that. I mean,
yeah, another species.
It's where the eyes widen up a little bit and they I don't know. You know the look. I can't explain it.
No,
but,
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Well,
but
it could also be that we chose those dogs that are more social looking, so to speak, and help them breed and carry that gene on.
Have you ever heard of the what's the name? The Japanese warriors. It just escapes me right now.
Samurai.
Yes, samurai crab. Have you ever seen that?
Booze, okay.
Sorry.
I said not weeaboos. Okay.
Yeah, samurai crab. In Japan, fishermen, when they fish up these crabs, if on the shell or the back of the crab, it looks like a face of a samurai, so they put it back in the water. So what's happened is over however many generations of people fishing out these crabs, the ones that look more like samurai put back in the water, until now it's natural selection, but unnatural if you like. The crabs all look like samurai. honestly,
Well,
it's worth a Google for samurai crab. I wonder if I can do it without screwing
it,
things up.
that's effectively genetic modification, if you will.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not natural. We are doing natural selection. We as human beings, we like to play God. We've messed up evolution a lot in different places.
Did we
Like
know?
he was saying earlier with dogs, we have bred certain dogs for certain things. Like dachshunds, dogs don't normally come that way, but dachshunds were for rooting out moles because they
Yes.
can turn around in tight spaces, and they're small. They're just a hot dog.
Well, I'm trying to pull up an image of this, but yeah, it's quite interesting how animals have changed over time. Sorry, I find it hard to concentrate on doing this without screwing everything up at the same time, which I've done on several occasions, all too easy. I've got the image, but what I must remember is to, where are we? Is to make sure that, is it going to let me resize it? Ah,
Oh, here's a fun fact. I
got
used
it.
to believe that we lived in a simulation about 10 years ago. I was convinced 100%.
Yeah.
But then, I came to my senses. But it's not hard to lose your convictions. That's why I kind of understand the flat earthers when they talk to us.
Well, I see where they can come up with some of these speculations, but because at that point, before they got there, they were open to a new idea, which everyone should be. But once they found this and they said, "Oh, I like that," then for some reason they devolved into a cult mentality, and then suddenly now everything else must be wrong. It's sort of like a hole you fall in.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, this is getting a bit difficult. What I'll just do is we'll lose the sound for a minute. I'm just going to show this picture. It's probably the easiest way, and then I'll come back again. So I'm going to show it now for 10, 15 seconds. This is an image of these samurai crabs, and you'll see why the shell of the crab would remind them of samurai. Let me just show that.
And it's a sound of silence.
You see what I mean? It does look like samurai, at least in passing. Yeah, so if it's natural selection, if you had a big barrel full of different coloured balls, if people tended to pick the red balls out, eventually you'll end up with no red balls. And it's been selected that way. Even if other people pick out blue and other people pick out green, if the majority that are picked out are red, you'll end up with no red balls. I just don't understand why people have such a problem with evolution.
It's because of the God thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, probably just ego.
But I mean, although I think it would be twisting in that to try and fit, I could at least understand if someone said, look, I believe in God, that there is loads of evidence for evolution, so it's God that has made evolution happen. I could understand that. I wouldn't agree with it, but I could understand that. But flying in the face of evidence, I think it's just silly. Oh, Annabelle
Well,
says we didn't lose the sound. Oh, that's good.
I noticed that, like at least lately, like in the past few years of maybe 5, 10 years or so, is that people are forgetting this one word called nuance. Everything has to be an absolute. You either are or you're not. But life is not. Life is not absolutes. Almost everything is nuance. There's it's shades of gray. Everything is shades of gray. Um, but they think, oh well, the Earth. I see that the Earth is flat. I'm convinced. Boom. Now I'm going to lock into that, and I'm going to hold fast And that comes from that enlarged amygdala, where a lot of conservative thinking comes from. Well, the fight or flight response comes from, but which leads to conservative thinking. It's a fear of change, and that fear of change includes learning new things. You don't exactly see Mitch McConnell going out skydiving or trying a video game or something like that. No, they're going to be stuck in what they want to do because that's how they feel safe.
But life is change. That's one thing that annoys me actually when they say, "Oh well, so many years ago, science said, I don't know, the sun is this far away or the universe is that old." Then they said it was this. Now they say it's that. Well, yeah, because we're better at our estimation, at our measurements, or our calculations. Wouldn't you rather improve, or would you just take your first figure and stick with it and call it good? Well, no, you're going to try and get a more accurate answer, and they think that's a failure of science, whereas that's the total beauty of science.
Yeah, science evolves to continually get itself closer to perfection, like the Borg. But
Absolutely. 7 of 9, eh? 7 of 9.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, 7 of 9. Yeah. Enough said, I think.
I'd like to interface. I'd like to interface with that data set.
Yeah.
But see, religion doesn't change though. That's the thing. It hasn't evolved at all.
But they
It
think
doesn't keep up with.
they think that that's a strength, isn't it? You can rely on it. It's unchanging because it's right.
Yeah, well,
Except where
it
it's
was
wrong.
right 2,000 years ago, but see, 2,000 years ago we didn't have airplanes, so that's why we thought man can never fly. That's why Icarus was a fable, and it just stayed that way.
Oh, hello, Pyro Kitty Cat. Pyro Kitty Cat is my almost newest subscriber. Hello there. Who's getting a lot of shout outs on over the next 2 weeks on all these pre-recorded takeover videos. Sorry, 3 days and I'll see her again, Mr. Sensible. Who will I see again, Pie Parrot? 7 of 9. I'm going to see 7. Hey guys, I'm going to see 7 of 9. Pie Parrot said so.
Oh,
yeah.
Me first.
Well, you can take 7 of 9. I'm gonna take number 6 from Battlestar Galactica.
I don't know number 6.
Yeah,
I'm going to have
you
to.
can Google her.
I am going to Google number 6.
Battlestar Galactica. Oh, you should do a poll on it, Mr. Sensible.
Number 6, Battlestar Galactica. Oh, yes. No, I have seen that, and I didn't yes, I know exactly what you mean. Caprica 6.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I really enjoy. I mean, I like the original TV series. I mean, it looks very dated and that now, but yeah, I thought that was really good. And yeah, I can understand that. It depends if you like your ladies in a nice red dress or skin tight, whatever on earth it is. But I think perhaps we better get back to sort of more the topic at hand: conspiracy, flat Earth, and things like that. and we were talking about religion.
7 of 9.
Pyro Kitty Cat says, "I'll take 69." Well, there you go.
Bad kitty.
He's saying he's gonna take 6 and then the other boy.
Ah, I see. And Tatty Boggle says, "Okay, but I get Amelia Pond from Doctor Who." Honestly,
I get Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Then.
Oh, Buffy. Oh man. Or I used to like Jessica 5 from Logan's Run. Ah, you don't remember her?
Hey, wait now. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. You're Googling Jessica 5.
No. I get the girl. I get the 2 girls in the Lambo from Cannonball Run. Then.
This is getting silly.
Here we are fighting over movie characters.
Wow.
So speaking of religion,
yes. Or not.
That's exactly my thoughts.
Those suits are really tight. No.
Pyro
See,
kitty. Sorry, go on.
normally, I just to throw a wrench in the conversation. I like to say, speaking of big boobies, just to throw people off enough to, sort of derail the conversation a little bit. But,
Yeah. But you were going to speak about religion.
Yeah.
Which is something I find fascinating. I really find it fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, like I can, if you think back in the day, right? 2 millennia ago, 5 millennia ago, it was easy to come up with these ideas as sort of semi-scientific. Alchemy in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
It was thought to be science, but really they were just sort of throwing things together and seeing what happened. But at that point, that's all there was. There was no, refined equipment, so you could actually see what you were really doing. It's the difference between like, you can change a tire. You can change tires at a shop all day and all night long. You say, yeah, I know how to change a tire, but do you actually really know what you're doing? When you change a tire, are you just putting the nuts on, or do you know that you're clamping the wheel down to the brake drum, and effectively by clamping it down, the wheel is making a tensile force that keeps those nuts from loosening. And if you do it improperly, you can actually warp the brake drum, or the mounting flange, or the disc, or even the wheel if you do it wrong. Or the nuts will just come loose, and then you get one of those situations where the wheels go faster than the car.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that was a bit, but it's more about. Oh, go ahead.
I mean, they did do the best they could. As you said, you come up with an idea. What is the moon made of, or where's the moon, or how does the moon move? Where does the sun go at night? Whatever it is. And I mean, it was the Egyptians, wasn't it? I think thought that the sun went under the earth and was carried by a chariot across, ready to be brought up the next day. Well, the thing is, they had nothing to evidence it, really. It was just
the most logical explanation.
Yeah, and at that time, that's fair enough. But then when we start developing hypotheses and then start evidencing them and testing them and finding that they hold up and so on, you have to revise your position. I mean, if these flat earthers started to, or were presented with someone who says, no, it's not a flat earth with the sun going round, as they say, 3,000 miles up or whatever, but that sun is going down and under the earth and being carried by a chariot to the other side and ready to come up again. Sorry, it's frustrating. It's so stupid. It's frustrating.
Well, also they keep trying to quote science from back in the day of when religion ruled.
Yeah, also especially the 1850s, 60s, whatever, at the time of Samuel Burley Rowbotham, because then you've got a mix. Because Samuel Burley Rowbotham was religious, and obviously religion was still quite big, certainly in the UK back in the 1850s. But there was basic science then. Well, depending which field, but I mean there was science. So that, I think, was the golden age. That you had some science and you had religion, and they're trying to justify the religion using the science.
Well, yeah, and also like, well, they'll claim science as a religion now.
Yes, as an insult.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
That's what's funny.
It's kind of ridiculous, but it's that when they try to claim science is religion and religion is science, all they're doing is transposing things, because they don't really have any better argument. The "I know you are, but what am I?" is what I call it.
Well, they're trying to make them equal. They're trying to make them equal, aren't they? So you're no better than me because yours is just a religion too. So you say, I'm wrong, I'm just being religious, but yours is just a religion. You just got this fundy belief in a ball earth and you can't evidence it.
I don't know.
I think I'm about ready to punch a screen.
Yeah. We need to get some official flat earther oven mitts.
Flat Earth of oven mitts. Oh, didn't you see my? Oh, hold on. I think it's about time I used it. 1 second. Let me just get set up here. Don't know if you saw that on screen, mate.
Not yet.
No, of course, there's a bit of a delay. Oh, I should see that come through in a minute. It was a Christmas present. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to grab it now. It's weird, isn't it, when we're talking there's a delay. I heard about this thing when I was a kid to do with telephone calls. I don't know how accurate it is, but if you if you make it's dark, you're right, a false equivalency. If you made a phone call, I think it might have been in an Arthur C. Clarke book, I'm not sure, but you make a phone call back in the day and ask them to put the operator to connect you through to so-and-so, to connect you through to China, to connect you through to America, to connect you through all the way. And at the last one, tell them to ring your number. And just as it starts to ring, you put the phone, or just as it's about to ring, you put the phone down, then it rings because it's taken that long for the signal to get round the earth, and you can pick up the phone and hear yourself putting the phone down. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have heard about echoing happening like that, just by sheer length of wire. I think it was.
Yes. Well, it's still going speed of light, isn't it?
But when you have that much fire going on, it just takes that long for that signal to go through. I mean, the modern telex systems now with switching and stuff, the biggest reason that pushed that innovation so quickly is because of how much freaking wire it saved.
Yeah.
We're using 30% of the wire, not 30% less, 30% of the wire that we used in the early 19th century for telecommunications now. And that's not just fiber optics stuff. I mean, if we discount that, but sheer overall, because there's more efficiency in the system now.
But, you see just simple things like TV interviews when they're international. Well, I mean, you make an international phone call, you can hear the delay a couple seconds as you speak. It's quite amazing. I mean, that's the speed of light.
Well, yeah, and nowadays it's the data is it's stored in packets and then retransmitted.
Yes.
As the recipient is able to receive them. So that's where you get delays. I mean, you look at a lot of modern TV, like news TV interviews. Sometimes it'll be like they're in the same room, like there's no delay at all. But other times, you see with say like your local TV.
So if you're sat in Australia now, and I'm sat in the UK, and we're having a conversation, there still must be that delay. You're still going to be limited that distance, the signal, no matter what, whether it's analog or digital in packets or whatever. There's still going to be, and always has to be, a delay because of the sheer distance.
Oh yeah, so there is the distance, but it's also how many jumps you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I'm watching you on the YouTube stream.
Yeah.
But I'm not connected directly to YouTube.
No.
And neither are you. There's probably about anywhere from 11 to as many as 25 jumps between me and actually connecting to YouTube in the first place. And all of those relays have to, they take time to actually do their relaying.
Well, of course, you're first of all, you're connected to Discord, and Discord's connected to me, as you said, via jumps. And then I'm capturing that sound on my PC, pumping it into OBS, which is then pumping it out to YouTube via a whole bunch of jumps, and then YouTube is coming to you with a bunch of jumps. And someone said it's quite a delay. There is. It'll be interesting. Let's see if I can count the delay. If I'll grab my watch, and if I say from now, and I'll see when I do that hand signal on the screen. I haven't even picked my watch up yet.
Well, also with the YouTube, it's where you are in the queue, because it depends when you come up. YouTube uses just a standard HTTPS protocol, and that's a very busy protocol. Well, Discord uses like P2P.
Well, I've just checked. I've just checked that the delay from OBS, the camera on OBS, and me dropping my hand to it appearing on my YouTube screen was 25 seconds.
Yeah, I'll be back in 1 second. Hold on.
Yes. Bri, you said it's about 14 seconds. 14 seconds. Which delay? Because of course you're not seeing it right from when I first do it. And Tom, you say I'm not taking into account software on networks. Of course, you're right. There's all sorts of delays built in, but it's still an absolute miracle, the things we can do now. I mean, I've been in IT. I'm not in IT anymore, but I was in IT for many years, over 20 years. And I remember with the earliest browsers, there was Netscape Navigator, and there was something else before that. I can't think what it was. And I remember web pages, and you get these little tiny postage stamp size images. And we thought that was amazing, the fact that you could get pictures from all sorts of things come up, and they would actually render over several passes because the baud rate was so low. I mean, people talk about, I'm only getting 3.5 meg download speed. We were talking about 9600 baud rate on a telephone modem or lower.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Oh, Tatty Bogle, 3 to 5 second latency on the Shield stream. Yeah, but it's because you're in Scotland, Tatty, so it's coming downhill. It's easier. Whereas I'm broadcasting to you, it's got to work its way up to the extreme wild north of the United Kingdom into Scotland, and it also has to avoid any wild haggis. Mosaic. Yes, that's right, Dora. Mosaic. That was it. And Harry Warper said it as well. And Tom C. Tudor. Well, we're a bunch, aren't we?
I got all you kids beat. I remember back when it was 300 baud.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was BBS, bulletin board systems, and you would type, so many lines. You get probably about a sentence in, and then you sit and wait like about 10 seconds, and then maybe they saw it, and then about another 5 seconds, for them to respond, and so, then coming back through the phone lines. I mean, that was slow, and that was text. So it was like, oh my God, Windows 3.1, it's the future.
I remember using, was it an earlier version, but was it 3.1 where the windows would actually overlap? Because before that, windows would bump up to each other. You couldn't get them overlapping.
Yeah, I think Windows 3.1 was like the first point at which Windows actually sort of took on what it is now.
Yes. And I remember using an early version of Word. It might have been 2, but there was no such thing as what you see is what you get, WYSIWYG. If you were saying something's in bold, it just like on this side chat where someone @s you and your name's in a block. It's that sort of thing. And then a different colour for italics and so on. You never really saw what it looked like until you printed it out. And I've just got a super chat from 3am Paranormale e Horror for €2 saying, "Gotta work tomorrow. See you next time. Yeah, thank you very, very much for joining us 3 a.m. I'm sorry I didn't notice you drop out of the actual chat here, but thank you for coming. It's enjoyable as ever.
Quitters never win.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
See, I'm in it for the long haul. I'm dedicated, Mr. Sensible.
I know, mate. I know.
When am I going to get that wrench anyway?
Well, you better post in chat, and then I can give you a wrench.
Well, I tried to, but then I have to come on here and keep you guys under control.
Oh right. Oh, Harry Warp says Windows 2 allowed overlapping windows. Well, there you go. I was there then, and in fact, I used CPM before that, which was basically Tom C. Tutor Word Star. That's right. I used CPM, which was an equivalent to MS DOS. Yeah.
Well, it was just DOS before.
Yes. Yeah. Disk operating system.
I remember on my C64 putting in those 8.5-inch floppies. Put in one, load it, and then put in the second one and load.
I was just reading Adam L says I learned how to use DOS, then Norton Commander with topping of Windows 3.1 when it just came in after hours on 3.1. Yeah, endless disks to load up software. Those certainly were the days. It was fun. Everything was a challenge. I remember having to muck around with IRQs.
Yes.
Interrupt. You install some new piece of hardware, and you had to allocate it an IRQ. Basically, it's a bit like a port, isn't it? But then certain peripherals would perhaps be configurable to 1, 2, or 3 different IRQs, and another piece of hardware would use 1, 2, or 3 different IRQs. So as long as they weren't using the same one, you're okay. So that's fine. But then you've got something else, and you're jiggling them around trying to get them so none would clash. Sorry, mate. Hello. I think Philosopher of Nonsense has just died. Irish Stew, good night to you. It's too hard to listen to the stream and my guitar at the same time. Burn the guitar. Listen to the stream. Adam L played games on a Commodore 64. I had a VIC-20 and I first used a ZX81 1K. Oh yes, Tom C. Stuter worked on Sun's Global Star Office. Calc.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
And he's back again. We thought you died. Can you give us an insight to life after death?
Yeah, it's pretty boring actually. It's a whole lot of blackness. You go at the speed of black.
Yeah. I said that the last time, didn't I? People go on about the speed of light, but I always wonder about the speed of darkness.
Well, if you watch the movie Legend, there can be no light without dark.
Legend. Who's
it? Was Tom Cruise, Tim Curry. It was they lived in a fantasy land where they had to the princess was in love with the forest boy, which is played by Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise took her to show the unicorns, but she made a terrible mistake by actually reaching out and touching one, which was forbidden. And then the Lord of Darkness or whatever, he wanted to take over so that the world would always be in darkness, because then that would give him power over the entire world.
Sounds to me quite fantasy.
Oh yeah, it's very much fantasy. That's actually a pretty good movie.
And maybe it is. I've never even heard of it. But that's one thing that annoys me in bookshops or whatever, Yeah, you've got philosophy, you've got biology, you've got whatever, you've got thrillers, and you've got sci-fi and fantasy. As far as I'm concerned, they're so different from each other. Sci-fi obviously being based at least on some sort of futuristic and possible science, if not real science. Whereas fantasy is magic stones and spells and stuff like that, which is so unscience, it's unbelievable. I never understood why they bunched those two together.
I think they seem to think it's science fantasy, and it's science fiction, not fantasy. Fantasy is like could never really happen.
No, exactly.
Basically it's flat earther world. That's where all the flat earth books go.
Yeah, but you say that,
fantasy.
but then you had like Larry Niven's Ring World. That would be better than Flat Earth, a Ring World. Have you not read that?
No, I haven't.
So, I mean, you know what a Dyson sphere is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So instead of that, imagine just the equatorial belt, a couple thousand miles wide or whatever, going all the way around the orbit. That would be Ring World.
Right. So basically, like if we build Halo, the game Halo.
I've heard of it. I've never played it, so I don't know it.
It's basically it's similar to what you're saying, except there's no sun in the middle. But
Okay.
yeah, it's basically just a ring where all the terrain is on the inside, and
What, like a tube? Do you mean like a tube?
no, it's kind of
Because
it spins in space, and the centrifugal force holds the atmosphere.
yes, that's like Ringworld. And so at each edge, they got walls 1,000 miles high or whatever it is, and the actual ring is several thousand or tens of thousand miles wide. So the actual land area, if you consider the entire orbital ring, is vast, absolutely vast.
That would actually be kind of fun if that were reality. Can you imagine being on like a ring world like that, where you could just go on and on and on, and it's just constant. It's like Earth, but like you could just travel for hundreds of thousands of miles and barely have gone the quarter way around.
Yeah, well, you think of our orbit. I'm not sure what the length of the orbit is, but if the radius is 93 million miles, so it'll be what, 3.14 times that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or have I just done? Yes.
It would be rough. Yeah, some say that's pi. But
3.141592654 rounded, I believe.
2654
Rounded.
52657.
Yeah. Knob.
Yeah. I used to have memorized some like 40 or 50 places, but
I only ever did it to 10.
that
was good enough for most things I needed to do.
Yeah, just like how Rover builds their cars, good enough.
Good enough, yeah. Except they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah, they were not.
Actually,
good old Lucas Ignition.
Yes. Have you ever seen a picture of Lucas Smoke?
Lucas Smoke.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find it just so I can.
I've seen Lucas Ignition smoke. I've seen a lot of people smoking over Lucas Ignition, figuring out how we're going to change all this.
Ah, right. It's not quite the picture I was thinking. I'll just post a link to this webpage. Have a look at this. It's a Lucas replacement smoke kit. So it's new old stock Lucas replacement wiring harness smoke kit. So that you... I actually had, I don't know if you know the car, an Austin Princess. Yeah, and they were renowned for terrible wiring. And I went with a couple of mates to a demolition derby. And we sat and watched it for several hours, great stuff. And at the end of the day, we decided to go home. I turned the ignition on, and smoke started pouring out from the dashboard. It was pouring out from under the bonnet. I turned it off as quick as I could. I thought, oh my goodness, my car is toast. I lifted the bonnet, and when the smoke cleared, I could see the wiring harness. There were bare wires, there were plastic had melted and dripped and all sorts. Basically, it had fried itself. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do? Well, let's just see if it will start and get me home. I gingerly turned on the ignition, nothing, and the engine ran. And that was it. It never caused a problem again. It basically melted and fixed itself.
So I think because you immediately turned it off, all the wires, when they cooled down, they pulled away from each other in the soup of what used to be the insulation. So effectively, what you had was 1800s, 1800s insulation in your car, where it was just bare wires that were stood off from each other instead of actually insulated from each other.
Well, I don't know, but it solved the problem. I never had a problem with that car with regard to electrics to the point I got rid of it. And I knew someone else who actually had his wiring harness replaced 2 or 3 times. They were so renowned for that. But it was a comfortable car to drive in. It had that hydrostatic suspension.
Like the Rolls.
I don't know. I know French cars tended to have it.
Yeah,
Renault, Citroën, or whatever.
Yeah,
It wasn't one that remember those old Citroens that when you switch off ignition, the back would slowly collapse to the ground. It was designed to do that. It didn't do that with it, but it was basically some sort of gas in there, and on a service occasion, you had to get that gas sort of charged up again.
Yeah, it's like on a Rolls, they had this idea where they're going to put all 4 wheels and tie all the shocks together. So it would, so like if it hits with one wheel, it'll be absorbed by the other 3 wheels as well for a smoother, more comfortable ride, more refined. And it turned out to be just a complete mechanical nightmare.
Well, what was that car that Jeremy Clarkson had? There was an episode when him and James May stopped at a service station for a coffee, and they were talking about cars, as they do. And Clarkson was saying he had some, I'm not sure if it's a Russian, sorry, Pi, we'll finish on cars quickly, but I think he had a Russian Zil or something, one of the sort of communist limousines. And he had it serviced, and the service cost him £16,000 because it had hydraulic windows instead of electric windows or hydraulic windows. Absolutely mad. But Pi Parrot's getting cars. Oh, Tom C. Tute says, what were the cars that were made of wood? It was a wood frame. It wasn't an Austin. It wasn't a Wolsey, as you're suggesting. I'm trying to think.
Morgan?
No, they have ash frames. They do, don't they? But no, it was a sort of like a family sort of estate car, and it just had a wooden frame. It was only the bodywork. But yes, the Morgans have got ash frames, I believe, or at least did.
Yeah, something like that. People were actually trying to rebuild them. It's like, no, just tube frame it. Don't use wood, you goof. Anyway, we should stop on the cars because apparently there's not a car show anymore.
No. Well, Traveller. Oh, 9 o'clock here is a Traveller. That sounds more familiar, but I can't think what it is. I can picture it, but I just can't think what on earth it's called. Trabant. Yes, : have you ever been in a Trabant? I have. And I was being given a lift, and they said to get in the back. I couldn't get in it. It was so small. And you're right, it was some sort of highly compressed... A Morris Minor. That's it, Pi. Pi Parrot, the person who doesn't want to talk about cars, came up with the answer. Yes, a Moggy Minor.
Well, I was just going to talk about minors. I was literally just going... I didn't even see that in the chat. I was just going to talk about a Morris Minor because...
Yeah, we believe you.
Oh, those are hilarious cars.
You keep doing this.
Oh, you stop it. I know where your YouTube channel is.
Yeah? What are you going to do about it?
I'll turn this internet right around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In fact, you know what? I will turn this planet around.
Will you? You ought to be careful, or I'll chuck you out my live room again. Oh dear.
So I found it so cute that a Morris Minor, when you change the tire, you could hold it with one hand. You could
That light.
frisbee the wheel if you want.
Yeah, old cars. I
There
like
were
old cars.
12-inch wheels. 12-inch wheels. Hilariously small.
Well, there was one day, one summer. This is going back about 10 years. I was just upstairs in my house, and I heard this amazing sound of an engine. I thought, "What the hell is that?" So I ran outside, and on the shared driveway between myself and my neighbour, there was this absolutely stunning car. It looked like something Cruella de Vil would drive, with a massive long, it was from the 1920s, massive long bonnet, humongous great lights on the front. And it was, I'll think of the name in a minute, but I was chatting to the guy because, if someone's got a car like that, they do like to talk about it, and they appreciate someone showing an interest. And he was taking me round the car, pointing out various things, and just behind the driver's, it was a two-door, just behind the driver's door was this little door that looked as though it was about, I don't know, about 16, 18 inches square. And he said, "What do you think that is?" And I thought, and I had no idea what this would be used for. It was so you could put your golf clubs in there behind the seat.
Yeah, because that was all it had.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the front, those massive lights.
Is that Excalibur?
I'm sorry?
Excalibur, I think, is one of those that had like a straight 16 engine in it, like absurdly long nose. The cab is basically over the rear wheels practically.
That sort of thing. But it was. I'm sure it was. I got a feeling he said a Sunbeam. I can't remember. But those great big lights they have on the front, like on a Cruella de Vil style car.
The flood.
Sorry, the headlights.
Yeah, the main floods.
Yes.
And then they have the little tiny.
Yes, but on modern cars you got dip and then you got main beam, which you just flick, and a separate pre-LED anyway. You've got two filaments in the lights, yes, in the bulbs. Well, on these ones, it wasn't. They only had single filaments. What he did was he pulled a lever, and that pushed a rod, which moved the reflectors backwards or forwards to change the targeting of the light. It was mechanical. I could not believe it.
Well, that's when people really put the effort into making a car work.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, Tatty Bogle, goodbye to you. Thank you for coming, and watch out for those wild haggis. Okay? You take care. See you soon. And Tom C. Tutor, three-wheeler Del Boy job. That's a Robin Reliant. Actually, Philosopher of Nonsense, I can't recall if I ever asked you, and if you don't want to say, that's absolutely fine, but whereabouts in the world are you?
You did ask me, and I said, I'm in Seattle, come get me.
So it's Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pacific Northwest. Basically, I'm on the correct side of America.
The correct side of America?
Yes, I'm on the left side. If you look at a map. In other words, the correct side.
Okay. But is there, on a flat earth map, there's clockwise and anti-clockwise?
Wait. Short circuit.
That's twice tonight. Oh, man.
I haven't had enough vodka for this. That's the problem.
I haven't had any alcohol. As I said, actually, the last alcohol I had was at the wedding, which was one sip of Prosecco at the end of my speech. My speech went down very well. Actually, Americans were mentioned. My daughter lives and works in Australia, as does her new husband, and he is an American. So we had lots of Australians come and lots of Americans. So it was the perfect opportunity to take the piss out of Australians and Americans, but nicely. And it went down very well.
Oh yeah, sure it did. Yeah, we know what happened behind the scenes.
Sorry?
We know what happened behind the scenes. It was an all-out fight. Everybody got drunk. It was crazy. Police were called.
Have you ever...
There was an American involved. Police had to be called.
Well, I did say to them, excuse me, I'm eating some of these caramel M&Ms, this great big £2 pack. I'm about halfway through it now. Beautiful things.
And he just got them this morning.
No. When some of the visitors from America had heard that I liked these, and so they brought me a massive bag of them. Yeah, I did some gentle teasing about Australians and Americans, and I've got to be honest, I love both anyway, so it really is gentle teasing just for fun. But with the Australians, I made some comment about drop bears, and also about Australia being Britain's largest open-air prison. So that got some responses. And for the Americans, I made the comment about when they're here, that to remember that we drive on the right side of the road, which is the left side of the road. And that, as a joke, went down okay at the time until someone pointed out all this big argument about that American who's married to a diplomat who drove on the incorrect side of the road and killed a 19-year-old boy.
Oh, well, you don't bring that up then.
No, I didn't bring it up. And yes, they should. I mean, had I thought of it, I never would have said that as a joke. Trying to think. Oh, yes, but I also pointed out that it's not the done thing in England. If you're at a wedding or whatever, or at a disco and party, you're quite likely to get someone bump into you and slop a little bit of their drink on you. And what you shouldn't do is shout out "Yeehaw!" Pull out your gun, shoot them, and claim self-defense. No, it was a great party. We all had fun. Oh, stupid.
Well,
go on.
Oh no, no. Go ahead.
No, it's all right because I'm eating now.
Oh, okay. Well, see, this is like the thing where you're crossing the street and like you realize that you're crossing from one direction, they're coming the other way, and then you realize you're literally going to walk straight into each other.
Yeah.
So now you're like, okay, who's going to take the left or the right? And then you both choose the same direction.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 times. You're stuck in the middle, like sort of an impasse. Yeah. So many times it happens.
A stupid monkey has just said that drop bears are dangerous and sees them at night. Yeah.
That just reminded me that while I was perusing YouTube, I happened to, without trying to search for it, I happened to see a reporter
Yes.
who was tricked into wearing safety gear.
I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? But I loved the picture of her afterwards, after she'd been told, and she was sort of on her knees laughing. Yeah, but it's
I love
great.
a good old-fashioned prank.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if there's an equivalent there in the States, but here, at places of work, they'll often wind up young, new people who start work, especially more in the trades rather than office work, and send them to the supplier to get some checkered paint, or to send them for a long wait. And that's a brilliant one. So you're working in a store and some young lad comes in and says, I've been sent round for a long wait. You say, hold on a minute. And you walk out the back and just leave them there. And number 6, a drop bear is not a snipe, but there are similarities. Have you ever been snipe hunting, philosopher?
No, I haven't done much hunting at all, actually.
No, not for snipe.
No, not for snipe.
No. Yeah, Pub Harriet, a tin of tartan paint. There's a tin of tartan paint. There's send them up for a long wait. There's a couple of other things I can't think of right now. Oh, John Rapp says, thanks to the UK, the Australian evolutionary experiment has created superior humans here down under and in the future. Thanks for that. Oh, a left-handed screwdriver, yes. Yeah, you can't. And blinker fluid. You can't do that.
Blinker fluid, yes. No, I love the blinker fluid.
Oh, and Harry, yes, a 710 cap. I thought that was just a joke about a lady going into a motor shop and asking for a 710 cap. Have you ever heard of that, philosopher?
Oh, that one I haven't heard of.
Yeah, so went in for a 710 cap. Maybe you need to look that up. Oh, yeah, and colon, yes, a spirit level bubble. Oh, and number 6 says, in the army we send privates to look for a box of grid squares. But I sort of think that sort of thing, I think that sort of thing is wonderful. I love gentle humour. Oh, a left-handed smoke shifter.
Have you ever looked for glow-in-the-dark sunglasses?
No, I haven't.
You know why they glow in the dark?
Why do they glow in the dark?
So you can put them on when it's at night.
Okay. Headlight
That's
fluid.
Yeah, American vacuum cleaners have headlights on them so you can vacuum when the power goes out.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like solar-powered torches. They always sounded like a stupid idea. But actually, there is such a thing now, isn't there?
Yeah, except, someone took the joke and ruined it. They took it literally.
Yeah, so maybe we should come up with tartan paint.
How do we mix that?
Well, do you need to? If they open it up and it's no longer tartan, they've obviously shaken, and put "do not shake" on it. Do not shake, do not stir.
I put a sticker on the bottom that says "Do not turn upside down."
Muffler bearings. John, yeah, I said you send trainees for a long wait. Yes. Oh, we used to send newbies with a bag of air to the oxygen bay to get it tested after drawing it off the oxygen tank on the aircraft. Oh, dear. Man. Well.
Everybody's well ahead of me on these. Because I used to remember a whole lot of them. I hadn't used them a long time. Like muffler bearings, I know for a long time.
I've not heard that one before. But it's brilliant, isn't it? Brilliant. Well, I think, and this has been great fun, philosopher. It really has. And the numbers have been slowly climbing. They dropped a bit earlier on in the stream, but they've slowly been climbing up again. So we've got quite a few people in here. I think poor old Fight the Flat Earth was left talking to himself. Poor guy. Oh, and Gleb Mum, you're right. What about the paint used by Wile E. Coyote to paint the perfect tunnel into a cliffside? Oh, God.
Oh, yes, of course.
We were talking earlier, I just love cartoons with the stupid, all the stupidity. Like Jerry from Tom and Jerry swallowing a big triangular wedge of cheese and poof, he's triangular. That sort of thing. It's silly.
Yeah. Well, the invisible paint also, you got to remember the invisible paint where you paint it on and turn it invisible.
Oh, and 9 o'clock says about the portable hole. That's an Acme portable hole, I think, isn't it?
I was literally.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 times. 3 times.
Oh, I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
Tiffany Hall, you have to get going. Have fun, guys. Tiffany, I didn't even see you in there. Hello, Tiffany. Arnold was in here earlier. He didn't come on cam, but good night and hope to see you soon. Yeah, sure. I believe you, philosopher. I don't think anyone else does.
Oh yeah. Nice, nice patronizing me there.
Oh man. Elbow grease. Yes, a tin of elbow grease. What's this? If we didn't like the stupid, why would we look at Flat Earth? Well, that's true. We do like stupid. And I like different as well. Different stupid. Yeah.
Speaking of getting off the topic anyway, this is not anywhere near what we were talking about.
No, go on. We are getting off the topic. So the topic is flat Earth debunking saturation, and we're talking about tins of elbow grease.
Yes, and blinker fluid. You got to change your blinker fluid.
Yeah, and
Actually,
muffler bearings.
in certain older cars, you literally do get blinker fluid because you get condensation that collects in the fixture. So you literally have to drain the blinker fluid.
Well, that's a new one on me. Definitely a new one on me.
Yeah, I had a old Datsun 510, and the rear lights, the rear light cluster is one big giant box. I mean,
Yeah.
it's you could use this as a lunch box for a kid, you know. But they get just a little bit wet in the back, and then just the moisture just collects and collects and collects. And like I've seen some people where they took like a little plastic fish and I just threw it in there before they changed the light bulb, so it looks like there's a couple of fish in there.
A brainless steel NL said, a stream got topics? Apparently not. But I think my streams are quite famous for not staying on topic. Excuse me. Oh, yes. Not Asian. Philosopher. Do you have a bucket of sparks for the grinder?
Oh, I'm fresh out of those.
Fresh out of sparks, yeah. Oh,
I use them all.
you've used them all.
Yeah, I mixed in some sugar and I made pop rocks, and well, you know, a legend was born, and now that's what we do is put miniature sugar explosives in our mouth and call it tingly.
Philosopher, I haven't got the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Well, see, two can play this game, Mr. Man. I can confuse the hell out of you too.
Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Oh, what's this? Brain is still no topic. Got to run in the family. Oh, Creaky hasn't got a topic. He hasn't got an accent either. Boyo. In the valleys. Do you watch Creaky, Philosopher?
Oh, all the time.
Nice guy. Really like him. Nice one, Creaky. As you say, tidy.
Tidy. All the time. Well,
Yeah.
that's where I learned about the lizard people and you know, all the countless other things I really didn't know about, because everything in the world is just such a lie, and I shouldn't believe my eyes. Although I have to believe my eyes only when I'm watching YouTube. That's what the flat earthers say anyway, right?
Well, it's unbelievable, isn't it? That, you know, we show them pictures or clips of film from, NASA and things like that, and they never believe it, and yet they'll believe crap from just some unknown person on the internet.
They'll believe somebody's literally whiteboard drawing of the
Yes.
flat Earth,
Yeah.
but and they say, "Oh, that's definitely real," and then they look at actual 35 millimeter film. No, that's fake.
Yeah. I know.
I
know. See,
it's,
that's
it's
why I
weird.
was wondering. We were talking earlier on about what, you know, if NASA decided, right, let's prove to these guys once and for all that the Earth is a globe, that space is real, etc., and we can go to the moon and all these things. What would they have to do? Because these flat earthers aren't even going to accept film.
They won't accept anything really. It's they seem to live in a culture of denialism. You know, that's why I sort of grouped them all as contrarian.
So here's a question for you then. I mean, I believe in free speech. I believe you do too, and that's part of. Is that one of your amendments?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, right. So we believe in free speech, but do you think there's ever an argument for saying, okay, you can't say that?
Well, there are limits to free speech. Like you can't yell fire in a movie theater or
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
You can't say bomb in an airport. Things like that. Like in certain places, certain parts of free speech are curtailed, but it was the whole free speech thing was mainly that you could speak badly about the government and the government can't do anything about it. You
Yep.
could say the president is an idiot and whatever, they
Yep.
can't do anything, but you can't threaten the president, of course.
Unlike that guy, what is it? Oh gosh, that nutter. I've done a video on him. I've forgotten his name now. Lord Stephen Christ and his followers.
That guy.
Yeah, because he threatened a president or 3 presidents, didn't he?
Yeah, and
he paid the price.
Ironically, he did pay the price for that.
But okay, I mean, the flat earthers keep going on about YouTube censoring them, whereas we know it's not censoring them; it's just not pushing them, it's not recommending them. The videos are still there. Now, what do you think there would ever be a case because flat Earth is patently untrue, and if it was just someone holding that as a belief, fair enough. But the fact is, they are persuading some people that it's anti-knowledge, anti-science, and so on. Do you think there's ever a case, ever an argument for YouTube or someone to say, no, we will not allow videos like that, as they don't allow hate videos, let's say flat out racist videos?
Well, they did block Alex Jones. In fact, a lot of platforms.
Oh gosh, what's he from? Infowars, is it?
Yeah. They blocked him. I mean, he big conspiracy theorist. I mean, now he's recently decided to jump on the flat Earth bandwagon.
I did one on him, yeah.
Yeah, they just started that because their followers are dwindling so bad. They're struggling for air now, so they're jumping on the flat Earth stuff and trying to claim, trying to go with that to pick up the flat Earth community, so that they can get more followers. Then they can talk more about the gay frogs and all this stuff, and that I care not to repeat. But so they're just reaching out in desperation.
I mean, Dark Knight Apologetics says it would only be censoring if YouTube took the videos down. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not suggesting that YouTube are doing that. But is there ever a case for saying, no, that's absolutely unacceptable? Let's say something like, I mean, Flat Earth perhaps is a bad example, because generally, other than misleading people, it's not doing any physical harm. What about anti-vaxxers? Stuff that's proven to be wrong, and yet anti-vaxxing videos are there, and no doubt anti-vax websites and so on. And because of that story that's being spread around, there are people, plenty of people, who aren't vaccinating their children, and now we're getting things like measles epidemics returning. So is there ever a case of saying that any anti-vax videos, for instance, no, you're not showing them, we're deleting those videos, you carry on posting videos like that, we'll ban you from YouTube, for instance? It is a tough question. I don't know the answer.
I would say in certain cases there would be. I mean, Facebook has already taken action against a lot of anti-vaxxer videos because of that exact reason that you just stated. The anti-vaxxers with the basically recreating the measles outbreak. I mean, measles should have been done by now.
Yeah.
And over with, but like polio, but or smallpox. But the thing for me is the flat earthers actually lead people to the anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, it is a rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah, because they think, oh, well, if the government's lying to me about this, then they must be lying to me about everything.
Yeah.
So they're going to subscribe to everything that falls under the government's lying to me. And that seems to be big business for a lot of people right now.
It is indeed. And of course, what's happened is whether Flat Earth's being censored by YouTube or not, I think not, just not pushed, as I said. The problem is a lot of those YouTube channels have now moved over to BitChute, where there is even less control and oversight, and also people like the debunkers here, less people like that fighting against it. So it's a free-for-all of crap on that BitChute.
Well, so is 4chan and 8chan,
Yeah.
and Reddit. I mean, they just keep finding another place to go. But for the most part, your average consumer, when they think videos online, they're gonna think YouTube.
Yes.
So I think it's
Yes.
actually a good thing that they get pushed off.
Because they got a much smaller audience, but I guess a much more dedicated audience, a more captive audience.
Yeah, well, I'm actually kind of fine with it. I say that they can go have their circle jerk by themselves, but
Mm.
um, it's once they start doing things like trying to like debate, trying to push it in schools. It's like, oh no, that is not going to happen.
Well, Harry Warp has just said that measles has an R naught of 18. That's massive. I had no idea.
Yeah, if you so much as if you think measles in the wrong way, you'll get.
But I mean,
I mean,
because
the
it's not.
measles thing.
Yeah, sorry. Go on, please.
Oh no, I was just saying just the measles thing for the anti-vaxxers, which by the way, they claim mercury and autism and stuff like that,
Mm.
while they're eating a tuna sandwich, which is loaded with 1,000 times more mercury than any vaccine ever. But they are literally causing a lot of deaths and a lot of problems. And then like when it does go down, they'll blame something else. I mean, autism is usually found right about the time you get your vaccines, so that's how they made that connection. Just the post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy, which means before this, therefore because of this.
Yeah, and I mean, I've got three girls. I did not hesitate for a moment to get them vaccinated, and that was MMR. Of course, they also argue, well, if you split it up into three, measles, mumps, and rubella, rather than one MMR, it wouldn't be so bad. It's because it's a cocktail. But the problem is spreading them out, and they have to be separated by so many months or even longer. It gives a longer window for infection and thus spread.
Yeah. Really, vaccines should be just they should be taken at the earliest possible point, because you'll never know when you're going to run into an anti-vaxxer
Yes,
or an anti-vaxxer's kid.
this is true. And the thing is, I think, as well, it's not just that they're against the the vaccine itself, which they are, but they also think that things like measles, well, it's just spots. And it's
Yeah.
much more serious than that, or it can be.
It's the lack of education,
Yeah.
because I think if they get any education on what it is, oh, I'm being indoctrinated into believing. You see where it goes. Same with the flat Earth. I'm getting indoctrinated by being educated. They're literally saying education is indoctrination. So basically, everyone should just have no education whatsoever and mill about like a bunch of confused apes, not knowing what's going on about anything. And that's supposed to be how we're supposed to live.
Mm.
Like we're in the 4th century or something like that.
I just can't believe how much dumb there is around. It's scary, really. You've got flat earthers, and you've got denial of science, and as you said, that leads on to other things, including anti-vax and so on. It's a dumbing down of society, and I'm not going to get into the politics side of things, but it's quite obvious who I'm talking about right now. We've got this meeting at Davos, and now, well, Trump has just basically denied climate change, saying
Oh,
that,
he always has.
yeah, oh yes, I know, but he's literally just done that today, saying that their predictions are always wrong. Well, actually, I think the reality has turned out to be worse than the predictions. He just doesn't know the science, and as I said, I'm steering clear of politics. So I'm not having a go at Trump, but there are so many people who are like that, who either don't understand, are not interested, or have different interests, such as money or oil or whatever, and they'll ignore the science. Scientists haven't got an axe to grind. If you could show that there's no such thing as global warming, that carbon dioxide and methane, these other gases, do not cause a problem, the world would be extremely grateful, and you'd make millions, billions probably.
Well, yeah, I mean it is vested interest. Like climate change denial is the big oil lobby. I mean, Exxon knew about climate change back in 1975.
It's the
They
whole
knew
thing like the tobacco industry, isn't it?
exactly the same thing. All these major industries, they get power corrupts. So what they will do is they will do anything to maintain and keep that power. It's just like uh, cannabis being illegal. That had nothing to do with cannabis. People didn't even know what it was. That was because people who had invested in wood paper mills didn't want to deal with hemp basically taking over the market. Because I mean, the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights is written on hemp paper. The the documents still survive to this day because they're on hemp paper. If they're made of wood pulp paper, even if we had modern wood pulp paper technology back then, those documents would be dust.
Mm.
They would not have existed no matter what. And that's, I mean, it's usually money or or some sort of bent religious interest that has some determination as to what basically holds. How are we going to hold humanity back today?
The thing is, with things like Exxon and big industries like that have the vested interests, they've got nothing to lose really, because if in the tobacco industry, because with them, when they've been shown to have been doing quote wrong, it's the company that gets fined or whatever, and it can afford it. The individual directors and that have been pocketing an absolute fortune. They're never sort of jailed for that, are they?
Oh no! If you're rich enough, you never go to jail. I mean, you remember the 2009 financial crash, right?
Yeah.
There was only one person, one in the whole world, one that went to jail, and guess what? He wasn't white.
He wasn't what liked.
No, he wasn't white.
Oh, wasn't white.
Everyone,
White. Yeah.
yeah, all the other people. I don't want to go into politics, but
No.
the people responsible for that financial crash now work for the U.S. president.
Was it all this subprime mortgages and stuff like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Packaging
and
it up and selling the bad debt.
yeah, and they would just buy, and also predatory loans, predatory lending.
Mm.
They go to somebody who's like living in basically just a shack, and then say, yeah, we'll give you financing for $1 million home. All you have to do is do this, sign the paperwork, and then boom, now they're stuck in a life of debt, and they can't pay. So now they go to debtor's prison in the U.S.
Really?
And then what they do, they take the same home, right, and then they put it back on the market for the next person. So they made the money, they lost no money, they still have the property, and then just keep doing it again, again, again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Harry Warp says that the Declaration of Independence was written on parchment.
Yeah, that's right. Declaration of Independence but the Bill of Rights
Oh, I see.
was on.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, that somehow survived too, but still, I mean, that wasn't that. That's I don't think really like if they didn't like put it in a glass case, like vacuum seal and all that. I don't think any of the like the maybe the Bill of Rights might have survived, but it would have been broken up. But a lot of it would have turned to dust. Like
It
wood.
sounds like we should have written on papyrus, because all
Well,
the ancient Egyptian stuff really has survived phenomenally well.
I think that seemed a little too ancient for them.
And I
That was
suppose it's not so much in the way papyrus reads in the US.
I think that and the fountain pens might have gotten stuck on it.
Oh well. Listen, we're now just coming up to midnight. It's a couple of minutes to midnight. I was only intending on doing about 2 hours, and we're just running on 3. So I think I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow, me and Mrs. Sensible, mid morning, are going to drive off at a leisurely pace, and we're away for 4 nights, and we're just going to have some real good downtime, which I'm really looking forward to.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be nice. It's a long time since we got away, and there's been so much going on. She has been an absolute trooper, because, as I said, my daughter's living in Australia, so my wife has had to get involved massively in the organising, which she wanted to. But then, with all the other things that go on with life, she's had an awful lot on her plate, so finally we can switch off just for a few days. So that's the plan.
Yeah, just sit back and forget about the whole world. Just be in your own little bubble for a little.
Absolutely, but I must admit, I'll probably still be checking comments and that on my phone.
Yeah,
I did make a posting when I was at the wedding, just saying my daughter's now married, but Mrs. Sensible says I can't check my comments, and I had some nice
you
replies to
gotta
that.
you gotta put the phone down. Put
Yeah,
the phone down. Just detach from the internet even altogether. Find things to do. Actually, that's a good challenge to do.
what's that?
Don't use the internet at all. No internet whatsoever.
But I can't.
But no, no, no.
There's someone out
That,
there.
no,
There's someone out there who's wrong.
there's a big challenge. See how long you can go without internet. Find other things to do other than the internet. Go for a drive. Go for a hike.
Well,
Go explore somewhere.
what we certainly will when we booked the hotel, or I booked the hotel this morning. It just said about optional extras, things you can add on, and one of the things that was free of charge was bike hire, complimentary bike hire. So I ticked that. So we're probably just going to go off for a cycle. I've not cycled for years, so just a total change of pace.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea, and that's well, that's good. That's good for the body too, but it's also good for the mind. I mean, just like ride around the area, make like a just get yourself familiar. Get the feel of it.
Yeah, which
Thing.
we are literally just going to get, because I mean still got 2 kids living at home. We've got her parents, her elderly parents. We've got my elderly mum. It's just so much. So we're just not going to be doing any of that. We're just and there's lots of people making nice comments in the chat. Yeah, we're definitely going to have a good time, and with the thanks of people like Now Pinion, who was here earlier, and we had Common Sense Criticism. There are others as well who have made videos as takeover videos for my channel to cover my slots. So that's really wonderful. I really appreciate their help, and it means you guys get to see something different. I'm sure some you'll like, some you won't like, but give them all a try, and then perhaps have a look at their channels, and you never know, you might find someone you really really like, and give them a subscribe. Share the love a bit, because someone did that to me. A couple of people did that to me, and it really helped. It gives. When I first started, who was it? Logical Troglodyte sort of took me under his wing, and I got involved with the Shills as well, and it's great. It really helps a new channel. So please give them a try. So to round off, Philosopher, I normally start from either the top or the bottom and run through my list of guests in live chat to say a few words. So do you want to start from the top or the bottom? Because it's you, either way.
Let's start with the middle.
Okay. That's you as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I'll just, I don't know. I guess I'll just say that really your channel took off when I showed up. The party always starts when I show up. But yeah, no, I don't know. There's not really much to say. It's just hope you have fun on your vacation. And
Thank you.
Next time I'm in town, I'll have to look you up.
You do that. You do that. Okay. Well, listen. Thank you very, very much for joining me, Philosopher. I think this is about the third time, maybe the fourth. Excuse me. Maybe the fourth time you've been on here, and it's always been great. You're always welcome.
Oh, good, because it's always fun to play around here.
Good. All right. Well, listen. Thank you very much. I'm sure that Colon's probably there. In fact, I think he's in the waiting room if you want to have a chat for a minute, and I'll catch up with you just after the stream finishes, okay?
Cool.
All right then. Thank you. Good night. So, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for all the kind messages about wishing me a good holiday. I appreciate that. I really do. And we got Dick Dawson in the chat, who was there at the time when I was struggling with Discord and my sound problems, Dick, which you helped me with. It is nice to help others and then to pass it on. So hopefully I'm passing on that help that I was given. I do try to encourage people. So I will be on a live, I'm planning Thursday the 30th. Excuse me, Thursday the 30th. I have, let's see, 2 videos over the next 2 weeks. So the 21st to the 1st, I've got 2 videos which I have done, and the rest are takeover videos. It's been a really good response to that. So I'm going to say good night. I'll catch up with you all in a few days' time. But don't tell anyone. I probably will take my phone, so I will respond to comments. Thank you all very, very much. Have a good few days. I'll see you soon. Stay sensible.